Okay. Gosh, we have so many things going on. It's hard for me to know where to start. Um, I guess I'll start with Yusuf. Yusuf had me walk a deal, and it is like total. I was gonna tell him about that. I'm not sure if he's here right now. Any word from Joseph? Yeah, I'd love there to be word from Joseph. I know bro's on vacation right now, so it's a little bit hard. But yeah, let me call him. I remember we have your situation. Yes, we also have JT's situation. At JT, if JT is here, you've got a number of deals under contract. And then we had GB13. GB13 has a really cool situation too, and I wanted to talk to him about it. So I'll call Joseph. Hopefully we can get a hold of him.
Sure, real quick.
Hey, how you doing?
Rich. What's going on, buddy?
Not much. We have exactly what a lot of your clients are looking for in those 9 mortgage takeover deals that we sent you.
Yes.
It's a lot to tackle. I know it's a lot to tackle. So I want to sell these to you guys, and I know that are what you're looking for, but I might just post it on to our buyers list because there's just so many, and I think you guys really have to sit down and put some thought into who's going to buy this, if the numbers make sense, and then also the inspections.
No, we have 3 main clients that we could divide these up to, or one of them that can take them all. We just need to get them locked. Okay. I think is the main thing, and then just figure out what the rehab is going to need to be, because I assume that there's definitely going to be rehab.
Yeah, one of them is Fullerton, and you walked Fullerton on a different set of terms. You had walked it for a normal price, and now we have it on mortgage takeover terms, which keeps the payments a bit lower and the entry a bit lower in the qualification process, as you know. So yeah, I do think you'll find that there's going to be some things that you need to renovate, and it might be a scenario where we want to take on these, but we don't want to take on these ones, and they are individually contracts, so you could do that.
Gotcha. What do we know what the takeover price will be per unit? You guys already have that mapped out?
Yeah, we do. And honestly, I'll tell you what, I always try to avoid connecting our wholesalers with the end buyers here.
I mean, you know me, I tell everybody if they come through you, I'm
buying. I think what could happen here is that they'll reach out to you next time and they'll try to sell you a deal.
Yeah, I don't like that. I would tell them that any deal that comes.
Yeah. Okay. Just for convenience.
It has to be you or me.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that this time for convenience, because
just be in the group text. So that way, and what I'll do is I'll save the contact as Richard's student, just so that way if any message comes from them, it goes right back to you. And I was like, hey, I expressed this to you before.
Because that's how I make my money. Yeah,
that's absolutely. I do, and that's the last thing I want you worrying about. I'll be very clear with that. I want you to always know that if somebody comes from you, it's going to come back from you.
So I'll connect you with the guy now. Okay. His name, I think it's Gary, maybe. I think it might be Gary, but I'm gonna connect you with him now, and he's the one who has all of them under contract. And yeah, he can schedule walkthroughs for you on all of them. I think there's still sufficient time in the contract.
Yeah, that's perfect. And like I said, we'll have them saved. Yeah. And also, I'll just say the message right there is that, hey, don't reach out to me outside of Richard, since this is the connect. So
okay, cool. Yeah, thanks. I'll connect you in a text group with him now. Well, yeah, we've got a lot. I mean, it's honestly kind of overwhelming. We have those 2 properties in Akron that are really immaculate condition, occupied with exorbitantly high rent. We just need to schedule a time to walk that, and I don't know if we have.
These are the same ones we've been working on getting walked currently, right?
Yeah.
Sent over to me. Yeah. And, Wade had property managers reach out to him today. I think we're just trying to He said if today, if we don't have somebody that reaches out to walk it, we'll hire somebody off Thumbtack and then just get business that way. Because obviously these are great rentals. The ROI on these are fat. And I would love to open up this market, especially since you have a seller there who's getting more deals. So, it gives us reason to expand here. So I'm 100% moving forward with that. Like I said, if we get a property manager to walk that today, we'll get somebody off Thumbtack and we can go from there.
Okay. Let me ask I'm with him now. Do you have a contact with the seller? I think I sent you the seller's phone number.
Yeah, Frederick. That was the contact, and Quade reached out to him, but never got a response back.
Never got a response back.
Yeah, at least that's what Quade said.
Okay. The wholesaler who is in contact with them is going to text him now and say, hey, we're trying to walk, but we're not hearing back from you. So yeah, we'll nudge him a little bit.
And that was Frederick, right? I just want to make sure it's the right person we're
referring
to. Frederick was the contact and sent over, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what we're waiting on. But yeah, we're thumbs up on that. And then I think I have a buyer for your Maryland today as well.
Oh, I forgot about that
right now. So I won't know for a couple hours, but pretty sure we got a buyer for Maryland.
Okay, yeah.
So expect a purchase agreement to be signed for that.
I also have a woman who's trying to have her tenants move in at 1250. I think 1250 is fine, but honestly, this area is really close to, I think, University of Detroit, or there's something right next to it that would allow you to get closer to 1350 on normal rent. So
we definitely want more. In all honesty, we want more because you're paying 152, right? I mean, this is like the Bellaterre deal that's 125, and that's a fat return. There's only 24 hours coming out when we're getting for 125, right? So ideally, we love that price range. Obviously, 152, we for sure want to get above 1250.
Yeah.
Here we are. So
that was the offer I got, but I didn't occupy it because I think you could probably get more, especially if you got 1400 for Tacoma.
Yeah. I told you a property manager's good, man. He knows the market area really well, and the 1400 that we got from there, I think the person makes like $8,000 a month. And so they have good money, and they're moving that property, at that type of rate.
For Bellaterre, the agent, and I think this is the one that you found that needed some work. But we happen to have it below. It's like a $1,500 assignment or something. But the agent is asking when we're doing the inspection.
No, it wasn't the inspection. Oh yeah, it was the inspection. Well, remember we tried doing the inspection last week, but they turned it away, and then it was rescheduling. We tried to reschedule the inspection for 2 days ago, and that got canceled because this was too last minute. So we just need a day and time that we can have somebody walk through there. I have another contractor that I can send it this week. So if we can get a day and time that works for this property, we can get it inspected and then appraised.
Okay.
That's the last thing that's happening. Also, College Street, there was some fire there. There was a prior fire there. We had our guy inspected. The one we had locked up for 62. And there was a fire on one of the boards in the attic that had ductwork around it. And so we needed to know from the wholesaler to find this out. Was this fire reported and was it rehabbed appropriately? Because as soon as the appraiser goes in there and says, hey, there's fire here, the bank's not going to give you 100% lending on it, and then getting insurance on it's going to be a pain in the ass. So these are the things that we need to figure out for College Street going to move forward in that deal.
I don't think College Street is available. We might be able to get it back. Yusuf said he canceled that one.
Oh, when did you cancel it?
Yusuf, when and why did you cancel that, Yusuf? I don't remember the situation.
To release, but you want it for 55,000. I can get it for lower than that. Unfortunately, the seller is pretty strict on his numbers.
Yeah.
So
you had requested us to price drop it. We tried to, and they said no.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. But,
okay. Well, that's where we're at with that. So I mean, that's a firm inspection.
Yeah, I think the only two priorities now are I'm going to connect you with the student who has all of those mortgage takeover deals. And then we're going to try to reach out to the seller for the Akron houses again and see if we can schedule walkthroughs for those.
Good. Yeah, so no worries there. And let's get some more deals wrapped up. You know where we stand as far as Akron, Ohio. Definitely love those deals. Just get the walked, which we have a solution for. Maryland, I'll have a client for you in the next couple of hours.
Yeah, let me know, because I'm itching to post it on my Instagram. I just, everybody reaches out when I've got one of my own projects. They almost want to buy it just to buy it out, just to say, yeah, I bought Richard's flip.
Yeah. No, listen, I got you. You'll hear from you later today. We'll figure out the cycle drill.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. Let me know, man.
Talk to you soon.
All right, see ya. Bye. We got a guy spamming in the chat. He's typed it like 10 times. He says, "Is 30 grand saved at 20 decent?" Bro, is this just like, were we aura farming? Are we validation hunting right now? Yes, 30 grand saved at 20 is decent, I would say. Yes. Most people are making that in a year at 20, if that. Yeah, so Mike, just tell your guy just tell him to check his phone.
Rich, the seller did agree to a walk on the triplex tomorrow at 11:45. Do you think he could do that? I can also ask him, like, can we just go through the other one as well? Or do you want me to just reschedule both of them?
I'm sorry, I was typing as you said that. Reschedule both of them, or...
Well, yeah, because earlier in the week, he had agreed to walk the triplex or be at the triplex for a walk on Friday at 11:45. So do you still want to leave that as is, or should I tell him we should reschedule both of them?
I would leave that as is. So I'm going to say we're aiming for Friday at 11:45 EST to walk the triplex on. And what street is the triplex on again?
Wheeler, same street.
Wheeler Street. But that is not the same time that we could walk the single?
Well, at first he had wanted it to be separate days, but now that we had to reschedule, I'm sending him a message now and be like, can we just walk the other one the same day? And I'll let you know what he says.
Okay. I'll let him know about that, and hopefully he reaches out and schedules that. I think he is reaching out. But yeah, I'll let you know. Okay. Yeah, that's a great deal, man. That's a really good one. Okay. The $20 WOB class for a separate inner circle. Do you guys want us to come out with that? You guys want us to come out with an inner circle that teaches more about scaling your operation and growing it outside of just working within my wheelhouse? Because Chris and I were kind of talking about that. We could. I don't know if there's demand for it. We've never had anything like that before, but we might. Anyways, Yusuf, I walked your deal. Let's get my contractor's feedback from it.
Okay. I'm pretty excited.
You could just join the Discord and then hunt for deals. I see no link. There's like 3 links. There's a one-on-one link. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
What's up, Richard?
I Venmo'd you for those 2 walkthroughs. I don't know if you got that.
I don't really know how to work Venmo, so I need to look, but thank you.
Well, somewhere in your Venmo or whoever's Venmo you sent me, that's there. And then let's see. What did you think of that house that you walked today?
It was terrible. It needs to get burnt down.
It needs to get burnt.
Nothing in there can be saved. Roof, electrical, plumbing. I don't know what's terrible. Porches falling apart. Brick pillars. Yes, it's no good.
I saw the video that you sent me. The video is actually pretty insane. That I don't even know how that happens. That brick pillar is like fully leaning.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Well,
one second. I got some on my other line.
No, it's all good. It's all good. That was all I needed to know. Thank you.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Talk soon. Bye. Yeah, Yusuf. So this is just one thing that we saw. This is just one thing. I don't know if the camera is doing that justice. Can you see that?
What is that? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest, because I'm not familiar with the homes. And
do you see this angle right here?
Yeah.
So the pillar that holds up the front of the house, it should be straight like this, but it's like that. But
oh my God.
That's just some stuff on the outside. The electrical is cooked. Apparently, so the drywall can't be saved, which means we're gutting the house. So the drywall can't be saved. The roof can't be saved. The siding can't be saved. It's redo from top to bottom. And it's just, he says it's the worst property I have ever sent to him in terms of condition.
Oh my God. So he didn't make anything? because the pictures that I sent you, he told me that all of this were rehabbed, but oh my God.
One of
I
the
don't know what to say here.
bathrooms, the bathroom, this is one of the bathrooms. I mean, that appears to be okay, but you leave the bathroom and it deteriorates very quickly. So it's just, you see, somebody's living in here,
Yeah,
but like,
oh my God.
but the whole roof is, the ceiling is exposed wood, so it must have been leaking really bad. But yeah, it's just it's just a massive project. It's like almost like building a new house. So
Gotcha.
probably would not be something I'd be able to move forward on at this time. I think it's
No,
possible.
absolutely. I understand. No, I didn't know that it's like that bad, to be honest. I understand.
Yeah, that's just
you saw the deal that I just sent you?
You have another one for me?
Yeah, I just texted to you today. Let me send you the address.
It's not Seminole. That's where we walked today.
No, it's not that one. It's another one. I just sent you the address. So I approached you with this deal as I got it for 60,000 before. You remember?
Mm-hmm.
And right now I have it. I can get it under contract today for 50,000. I have the contract on my hand. The ARV is 160. You did run your numbers before, and you told me 22,000 profit if we sold it for 145. But right now I have it for 50,000, so it'll be like 35,000 profit for you. I don't know if it's a good thing for you or not. That's why I wanted to ask you before signing the contract. It's a 4.2, 21 square feet brick home. ARV is 160,000. But to have like good cash on cash return, you will need to sell it for 145. Yeah, I have it for 50,000. Let me send you the photos.
Did we walk this thing?
No, you didn't.
I'm looking at.
I just sent you the Google
photos on Zillow.
The Google Drive for the photos.
Okay.
No. Oh yeah, there is photos in Zillow too. Yeah.
More.
So it's listed for 80,000, I believe.
More photos on Drive.
I don't know. I don't know if it's the same or not because I was negotiating it while it was off market.
Yeah, same photos. Okay, so we need windows and roof. Windows and roof. I would imagine the windows are probably 9 and the roof is probably 12. So we're looking at 9,000 for windows, all new windows. And then we're going to be looking at a new roof, and our new roof is going to run us about 12,000. So we're looking at $21,000. Looks like we need to refinish the floors and put down LVP in some of the rooms. Let's say that that's probably another, like, I don't know, 7 with labor. And then we're redoing the kitchen, and then there's 2 kitchens, so that's probably another 14. And then we're redoing the bathrooms. Can't really see the bathrooms, but let's say each bathroom cost me $4K to redo. That's another 8,000. And then I don't know if we need mechanicals. I can't see the mechanicals, but that's probably going to be another 6,000 for mechanicals. So yeah, maybe like a 60K rehab, maybe like 60K.
Oh my God. Okay.
So if we buy this thing for, 50, 52, even just the smallest of small fees, and then we put in 60,000 and then 10 for holding costs, you're in it for about 122. And yeah, you're right. You could sell this for about 145,000. And I think you'd make a little bit of money, but it takes a long time. This will take 3 months, and 22,000.
Oh, gotcha.
22 over 3 months is kind of like,
it's not.
It's not great, but
it's kind of like wholesaling.
Yeah. So that one's probably not for me, but Yusuf, I'll also buy single family. So I'm looking at a single family right now. I can show you what I'm really interested in. I don't know if we'll get it. This is one of those realtors who can only be contacted via email. But I'll show you what we're looking at here. I'd love them to say yes to this offer, but this is one that I'm just really obsessed with. I really like this one that I'm looking at. I'm going to move to the other part of the, it's too much sun again. Move over here. Okay, that's better. Okay, I'll share my screen on this, Yusuf, and I'll kind of walk you through why I'm obsessed with this. This one looks perfect to me. Okay. So this is Lake Point Street, and here's what I like about it. Exterior, I think the brick is mostly fine. I don't really think the brick needs to be changed, and I think that the roof could also be saved too. Maybe. Other parts of the roof in the photos look a little bit rough, like right here. So yeah, I'm like, maybe we do need a new roof, but then I look in the back and I'm like, maybe we don't need a new roof. So maybe on the roof, maybe 50-50 on the roof, probably new windows. I'd say just to make them nice, probably new windows. And then refinish the floors, paint. So we'll tally again. You know, let's say refinishing the floors and laying LVP where we need to lay it is another like, well, do we need to lay LVP? That's pretty much all hardwood, isn't it? Yeah, I wouldn't imagine it's more than 5,000 to make all those floors nice. And then we probably need to paint in there. Probably only interior paint. I don't think I'd paint the brick. It's not a nice enough house to do that. So if we paint the inside, maybe the interior paint's another 3,500. That's pretty cheap. What else are we looking at? I'll leave the roof out for now, but we might have to do a roof, maybe. I don't need to redo the kitchen. I just need to buy appliances and then maybe make it a little bit prettier. I'm sure my contractor will have some ideas for that, but perhaps I put in another 3,000 into the kitchen. However, the bathroom does need to be redone. And I'll say 4,000 for the kitchen because nice appliances could take up a good amount of that. We refinished the floors. We've already painted. We need new hardware, like luxury hardware on the doors and all the handles. And maybe we drop another 1,500 on just hardware alone. And I should include light fixtures. So let's say 3,000 for light fixtures and hardware. You know, nice light fixtures in there. And then we have to redo the bathroom. Now the bathroom is not terrible, but it's not nice enough for a fix and flip. So it's a good size. I really like the size of the shower. The shower looks like it's pretty big in here. So redo the bathroom, put in a walk-in shower and like a seat in there. And I would imagine a really nice bathroom remodel could probably run me like 6. And then I'm going to finish the basement as well. I'm going to finish the basement by laying probably carpet down there. I probably would do carpet in the basement and then put up drywall and then paint that drywall. So maybe finishing the basement cost me another say 4,000 because that's all pretty cheap stuff. And then I don't know about my mechanicals. I'm not sure what my mechanicals are looking like. So I haven't factored in mechanicals, but let's just assume that mechanicals or something else are found and I need to do another 6. So I'm putting in about 31K here. So this is about 31,000. And I don't even think it needs 31. I think 31 would make it really nice. I think it would be really, really pretty for 31,000, especially up here. I would paint this whole area, probably get rid of the drop ceiling if I can. New light in there. And then I would get it staged too. We probably have a little bit of a fee for staging. Maybe the staging cost me $3,000. Now I'm in it for 34.5. And then let's look at the comps because I've offered 55 on this. So it's not offensively below list. The agent is completely unreachable. He said he would present it. I don't know if he has, maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But zooming into the comps here, immediately, I'm liking that I see more expensive listings. Like a lot of people will show me deals and you'll only see these guys next to them. I'm like, well, that's not great. Let's draw around this area. So like maybe up to here, maybe to here, maybe to here, and maybe to here. And if I finish the basement, I'll have more square footage, probably closer to 2,000 square feet. So it'll be okay to comp with people at 2,000 square feet. And maybe I'll put a bedroom in the basement. Maybe it'll be a 4.2. So we could make it even into a 4.2. So I'll be a little bit loose with my comps, understanding that we should be able to increase the square footage of the property. But yeah, this is what I'm seeing. Past 12 months, we've got 190,000 sale. It's not really what we are. we have 170K sale. Not really what we are. That's not really what we are. What I mean is they're just not really the same type of property. This is, well, I can't really see the whole thing, can I? This might be the same thing as us. That might be a bungalow. I'm a bungalow. Is that a bungalow? Yeah, it's a bungalow, and it's not as nice as we are, actually. Yeah, so that's a good one. Sold for 165. They probably did finish the basement. I should also put in some landscaping expenses in there, so maybe it could be getting closer to 40. But yeah, you've got 140 here. That's not really what we are. That's kind of what we are, but not really. 144. And this guy's got 1930 square feet. I think we could have near that. This guy's got 1,100 square feet for 140. So I don't have like a ton of exact comps, but I think it's clear that a renovated one will sell for 140 plus. So probably anywhere from 140 and up, and could go up to 160, 170. We don't really know. But I'm planning to probably, and I'll add a little bit more with rehab. Maybe we do landscaping for 3K. So maybe I'm in it for $34,500. And perhaps I do 55,000. Maybe they counter. Maybe they get it. Maybe we do land on 57,500. And then we put in our rehab budget of 34,500. Now I'm in it for 92. I've probably got 10K holding in closing costs. Now I'm in it for 102. And I think I'll list for 140. But honestly, I think it's going to sell for more than that. I think it'll go for like 155 because it'll be a nicer rehab than most of them on the block. We'll finish the basement. We'll have 2,000 square feet, maybe a 4.2. So if I sold for 155 and my realtor charges me 5% of list price for commission, I'm looking at making about 45,000. And that's like my minimum, maybe 40, maybe 35, 40 is my minimum, but I don't think it's a slam dunk. However, I think all of this is really easy. I just don't think it needs very much work. It seems to be fine. And I like the price point that it's in because let's say it doesn't sell, it would be a perfect rental property for me. So I'm hoping I can get this at 55. We don't know yet.
But Richard, when you were running the comps here, you did cross the Yorkshire Road. Is that something that you did it by?
Where?
Yeah. There's this Yorkshire ward. So the properties here in the Lake Point Street.
Oh, this
yeah.
One, Yorkshire. I try to avoid crossing big lanes like this, but if we look at what Yorkshire is, let's take a look at what Yorkshire looks like. It's just like a neighborhood road. We can cross roads, but we can't cross like big double yellow line roads. So this is just like a neighborhood road. It's not tremendously different here versus here. However, other roads like Whittier Avenue, you can see it's thicker. Whittier's a little bit thicker.
Gotcha.
Let's go look at what Whittier looks like. Whittier is a different type of road. You see that?
Oh, so when you see the yellow thing, it's something that you don't want to cross?
Yeah, when the road is thick like that. So the lines that I wouldn't want to cross here, I mean, I could comp all the way from here to here to here to here to here. I don't want to cross thick roads. Like this is a double yellow road, but if it's a neighborhood road, you're okay to cross it. And that's a pretty small comp range. Appraisers, they would honestly do this. They'd go like all the way over here. So you can technically comp from a mile out. I don't think that's a good idea, but a lot of people comp like this, and including appraisers. That would give me some really crazy numbers though. If I looked at the actual sold single families here, well, maybe not tremendously different, but would kind of throw off my numbers. I'd be like, oh yeah, I could sell for 180 all day, but then I go a little bit closer and I'm like, okay, maybe not 180. But yeah, these guys are good comps right here. This right here, 4.2, 1,600. I mean, that's pretty much what we are. So I'd be curious to see how close that is. That's past Whittier Avenue. So I am nervous. I mean, I'm like, ugh. It could be a different neighborhood. And then one thing I can do to see if it's a different neighborhood is check the street view. This is what our street looks like. Does their street look significantly nicer? No, it's literally the same thing. It's the exact same thing. So that can be a good indicator as well. But I like that flip. I'm not obsessed with it, but I like it.
Gotcha. Now I understand more because I was actually not crossing any road I see.
Yeah, you can cross roads. You can cross roads, just not the thick roads.
Awesome. So before I go, I just sent you a deal. It's under contract. 60,000 purchase price, rented out now for 1,400.
Sorry, I was
I sent
reading
it to
just
you.
Meowing's comment. You said you had another one?
It's actually for Joseph, most likely. It's a 60,000 purchase price. I got it for 60,000. Oh yeah, I got it for 60,000, and it's rented out for 1,400.
Oh, it's occupied?
Yep.
Gosh, I hope the condition's okay, man. You see how common it is to just run into these issues that they don't tell us, like the hole in the ground?
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's the issue is when I look into the photos, I don't feel like there's like major things going on. But when we have the inspection report, oh my God, we have a crack here, we have a leak there, we have a fire damage here.
Yeah, it's almost worth it, Yusuf, to get the more expensive property at the discount. But this neighborhood looks really good, except for this interesting house. Am I sharing my screen? No, I'm not. Can I share my screen?
Yeah, it's under contract. Okay. Just got it right now, literally.
Yeah, you produce a lot of contracts, dude, and that's what it takes. The neighborhood looks actually really nice. Looks like a really, really good place to live. Like I was just in Detroit, and this is good. You know, a lot of. I will say it's a really rough place. Like it is a complete 360 from where I live. Like this, you couldn't I don't know. You couldn't find a neighborhood that looks like Detroit in my entire area. It just doesn't exist. So I like the area. Your roof looks good. Your windows look good. Your interior looks lived in.
Newer roof. Yeah, it's occupied.
Yeah. It's just a lived in property. Yeah. We have a guy on stage who has pretty much the same thing as you right now, but it's in Fairfield, Alabama, Fairfield, AL. And
is he buying there?
Oh, Fairfield is actually Birmingham. I was like, what is Fairfield? So, okay, Fairfield is Birmingham. Okay, cool. Yeah, he is. I thought Fairfield would be rural, but we can definitely send somebody to check out that property. I think we can. We'll check the cash on cash, but yeah, it's going to be crazy high at 55,000. It just comes down to your discount, the property's condition, and location. I think location is probably fine. We'll check the condition here shortly, but yeah, I'll call on this. I will call on this and I'll see. What do you use to comp? Guys, I'm super basic. I use Zillow. I just use Zillow. And I think a lot of people are asking, how do you learn this? How do you teach this? All the people I'm talking to, we have an operation going on where I collect buyers. I've got a couple big buyers that just buy up everything that we have. And recently what I've been doing is I've just been selling their deals on my live stream and reviewing them and giving them feedback. And if I ever have time, I'll make my own calls and see if I can get these deals done. So,
hey, Richard. Yeah, this is Sora. I sent you that brick duplex the other day. If you're gonna call Joseph, would you mind telling him about that too? All the info's in your DMs, the Google Drive link with everything's in it.
Just a moment, but yes, he has the 9 or. I got it. Gary, I'm actually connecting with Joseph. I forgot to do that. I'm going to do that right now. But I'm going to send that drive link that you sent me. These 9 duplexes. Oh. 7 duplexes. Yeah, this is insane. I really should just sit down and like cold call for this because that's just a crazy, crazy opportunity. Some of them will need rehab, but time is. Okay. Can we?
Did we ever hear back from Saeed on the 4 single families?
Shoot. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I'm gonna.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm gonna collapse. We have walkthrough scheduled for all 11 properties starting at 10:30. Wait, GB13. is that a separate buyer?
What do you mean? No. So I have 11, right? There's 7 and 4. It's all under the same property management, and we were trying to get them scheduled like 2 days ago. So I did, but Friday is the day, which is tomorrow at 10:30.
So tomorrow, so I can tell Joseph, yo, we can walk all of these tomorrow at 10:30, and they'll just take us to all of them.
Yeah, they're starting at. That's what's difficult because there's 11 properties. There's the 4 single families, and they want to walk all of them because it's the same property management company.
That's a tall order. Let's see though.
And I have the number for the guy at the property management company. So
can you DM me that number?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
Yeah, guys, let me do things one at a time. I'm gonna collapse if I have too many tasks at once. I can call this guy multiple times. That's okay. Damn, my service always goes in and out here. Why is that the case? Come back, service. Come back. There we go. And now I have full bars. How is that possible?
Your call has been forwarded.
Oh, okay. So you say 10:30 or 11:30 tomorrow?
10:30 a.m.
Okay, I told him in that chat. I will say though, this is the hardest part about the deal. I don't know how to get all of them walked at once. So, but if the seller's willing to work with us and is a little bit patient, we can get it done. It's just it is a challenge to get all of them walked at once. So I'm gonna try my best on this. And did you end up doing this? You talked to did Shell ever get back to you in that chat?
Yeah, I think she started listing them. I think there's 2 active right now.
Okay, I'm gonna bug her really quickly here and tell her to prioritize this. Let's see if I can talk to her. I'm live on Discord. The website is down right now. I don't fully know what happened, but there's something going on with the website. Luke, it depends. Hey, we have a situation that we should put all of our energy into right now. This student, Gary, username GB13, who I connected you with yesterday, has 11 properties on mortgage takeover in Detroit. This is something that Saeed would buy. This is something that Joseph would buy. Something that like all of our buyers would buy. But the problem is there's just so many of them, and it's really going to require a lot of attention. So I want to put you on it if you have the time. But I connected you with the student. Did you happen to put eyes on those deals?
Actually, yes. I've been talking to the student. I already disposed 2 deals, and so far I'm getting a lot of traction. So I can actually work on this one because right now I'm not doing much dispo. I'm actually just managing the team and helping them with the deal, so I can focus on this 11 deals.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Joseph has a client that will pick up all of them. And there is a walkthrough. I don't know if it's scheduled, but able to happen tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. And I don't know if that's something we can schedule. I would imagine not. But they're also contracted individually, so you can sell some to some people and some to others. But yeah, this is probably the focus since each one of those can sell for between 5,000 and 7,000, I'd say.
Right. Actually, 2 of the duplexes I've already posted it on Buy Box Retail, and I also sent it to Kenny, and he's actually interested with it because the entry is low, like 6,000 and 7,000 only, and they're actually willing to take full terms. I will reach out to Joseph. What deal is he going to be walking through? Because I need to check with the tenant if we can do that.
I don't think he's actually scheduled to walk through. He's been a little bit hard to reach lately because he's been on vacation. But Yeah, this is the pickle on these. This is the pickle. You might want to schedule walkthroughs individually. We can try to work with Joseph, but honestly, Shell, if he's not responding, we got to move it to somebody else.
Okay, yeah, because I have a lot of, other buyers that are willing to, proceed with this one. Actually, I'm already talking to the student, to Gary, and asking him for like access on some of the properties. So
yeah, work closely with Gary because he's going to be your lifeline to get people into these. But I would try to get all of them posted before the end of today, and then this would be one of my top priorities right now.
Yeah, I'm actually posting them. I also send them to Nina to post it on your IG. So yeah, I'll let you know once all is posted.
Okay. Right. And then for do you know about the Memphis properties, the 5 duplexes in Memphis? Do you know anything about those?
No, I don't know.
That's okay. I'll handle that. Don't worry about it. I'll handle it.
Okay, I'll just work on this one then.
All right. Thanks so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Great. Bye-bye.
Okay. Yes, Sue, we have your 11. We have, 10 doors, 5 properties, duplexes. Man, this is just turning into a dispo stream. Oh my gosh, y'all just have so many. It's just so much. It's very, very hard to keep track of all these, but we're gonna get them sold. So that 11 is already pending $20,000 assignment with Joseph. Will he pick up the phone? I don't think so. These are all members of Hold My Hand Wholesale, guys. These people don't work for me. They're working with me. I have probably 22 to 25 employees, though. Yeah, I got to yell at them about EMD on that, Sue. Maybe I'll call Almira. Is this Quaid? Sue. Hey, Sue, is that Quaid in the chat, that other phone number? Do you know? Has he said anything? Sue, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is it Quaid?
Yeah, that's Quaid in the chat.
Okay, I'll just call him. Maybe he's available.
Awesome. Thanks.
EMD is due today. Seller will not extend past this. Okay, let's call. Hold on.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, Quaid, how are you?
Hey, I've had food poisoning the past 5 days, but other than that, good.
So sorry to hear that. We have these 5 duplexes in Memphis that we've been working on. Now, EMD, I believe, is due today, but I think you guys have walked all of them. You liked 3 of them. I don't know how the other 2 went.
Gotcha. I got the 2. I think the video was sent over this morning on that. Yes, I'm just waiting back on an insurance quote to send off to the buyer to get their confirmation on everything looking good on it, and then they can proceed forward. Sounds like he's just really particular, and this insurance agent kind of got back to me slow, and now I'm just waiting back on them. So I'm gonna give them a call, follow up on that, and then I can get back to you.
Do you think that that's doable by today? Because we had this scenario happening last week where the seller was like, I'm going to cancel. And we talked him off the ledge, but I don't know if we can do that again.
Gotcha. I don't have an answer for you. Let me make a few calls and I can have a better answer.
Yeah. And the return on investment is so high here that I wouldn't imagine that your insurance would kill the deal. So even if you don't, I know it wouldn't kill the deal.
No, I agree with you. My guy just wants to see all of them put together.
Yeah. Well, this is the crossroads. It's risk it for whether or not insurance comes back within reason. It will, but risk it for that, or I don't know if the deal will be available beyond today.
Okay, cool. Let me call my guys and I'll get back to you shortly.
Okay. All right. Talk soon.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. And pancakes, I'm swamped. I'm swamped right now, man. You know, I will try, but Sue, we'll see what happens there. He's gonna call me back. Let me make sure that I have his contact saved because I didn't have that before. Okay, so he'll call you back. GB13. I'm gonna put you in a chat with Quaid actually. Let me add Quaid. So, because he's the coordinator actually, that makes things a lot easier. This is the wholesaler, parentheses, Gary, with 11 Detroit mortgage takeovers under contract. I don't like the cash flow on the single families, but I really like it on the duplexes. Here they are. Agent, or I should say property management. Property management wants us to walk tomorrow at 10:30, and then I'll get those duplexes over to him right here. I really should do a demonstration though, guys. I should show you all how to do this because I just worry that new members are being left behind. Is there anybody in here who's just lost and confused right now? What's happening is people are showing me their deals. I'm saying yes or no, and then I'm sending them to buyers. So I feel like I'm leaving people out, and I feel bad about that. So I'll try to make some time at the end of this. Maybe I'll stay a little bit late where I can just talk to new members and demonstrate how to find these deals and explain what makes a deal a deal. Sora, I don't know if I can put any more on their plate right now, man. I think they might collapse, not in terms of buying, but I think they need to get through like these tasks that they have now, and then I can send more their way. But there's a lot of other buyers for that. So send it to the team if you haven't already. I always recommend posting on the marketplace, posting on Facebook, and calling any buyers that you have. But yeah.
Yep. Gotcha. Sounds good, man. Thank you for everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Richard, do you recommend SMS marketing? The thing is about SMS, even though some people argue differently, is that it's actually not legal. It's actually not allowed. And it's like jaywalking. You're probably not going to get in trouble. You're probably not going to get in trouble. But it's people like to read into it all different types of ways because they have this bias because they are doing it themselves. Like people who text blast, they'll reference all kinds of different laws and happenings legally. But the TCPA is quite basic, and it's like texting or telephone consumer protection agency, something like that. And they essentially say, if you're texting somebody at mass, they must opt in. Politicians, for some reason, can do it without you opting in. But if you're texting, and then this is where they try to say, selling a service, if you're not selling a service, if you're offering to buy, or you're not selling a product, you can do it. But the thing is, you just have to have them opt in, and it can't be opt in after you receive the message. They have to opt in before. But yeah, Hunter, honestly, if you become a low-level politician, you can text blast. Yes, you can. It isn't that bullshit. Isn't that crazy that they do that? But so for that reason, I don't recommend it. But are you going to get in trouble? Probably not, dude. So many people do it. I'm not recommending it, but yeah. Anyways, JT, I'll call Saeed now and see if he's available, because we've been trying to get a response from him in regards to your deals. Apparently he's had some sort of short-term rental nightmare that he's not much experience that you could gain in 2 weeks' time, I should say.
you've done.
Yeah, I'm having slow responses right now. Highland Park is pass. It's negative cash on cash return. The other actually I got text from him. He says the other two are also very low at current numbers. Yes, all low ROI. Yeah, so JT, that was kind of what I thought from the beginning. I didn't really know why bro was buying those because I'm just like, these things don't cash flow for shit. But there is one that has a 3% interest rate, JT. What is
Yeah.
Let me learn more about the 3% interest rate. What is the PITI on that one?
Let me see here. I think I sent it to you there. But the PITI on the 3.8%
Yeah.
is 1025.
And what's the rent on that?
1450.
One of them has PITI of 1025 with rent of 1450. Not insane return, but what was it? 3.8% rate?
Correct.
And what's down payment?
10 grand.
10 grand?
Yes, sir.
So we'll just say 13K and 13K entry. But yeah, dude, I will say that's been a rule that we've been talking about for a while. High interest rate, totally fine, but we need to have a gap in cash flow. So let me share my screen. I'll show you something that did sell. Actually, I'll show you two that sold. So I do a lot of those Detroit mortgage takeovers. This one right now in closing for, oh, that's the previous closing, I'm sure. Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, sold, but that's from 2024. Okay. So this is Covert Avenue. Covert Avenue, despite the pictures, is actually fucked up. It's really bad. Well, I guess we're just thinking no pictures for today. Zillow, what if you didn't fuck with me for once? What if once, please? Okay, thank you. Oh my God. Okay, we're not looking at photos. Well, Covert Avenue or Covert Street in Detroit is really, it's not really messed up. It probably needs $10,000 in order to be rent ready. But the thing is, your PITI is 560. There's a tenant in place at like 1250 right now. Another one that I did about a month ago in Detroit, this one was for a $5,000 assignment, but you're going to think this is crazy. The seller wanted 12K down, right? So I gave him 12K because he was my contractor. So the seller wanted 12K down. It is a 3-1. It's not a 2-1, but they only owe 61. So think about it. 12K is already damn near 20%, right? And then I stacked another 5 on top of it. So 17K entry. You know what the interest rate was on this? 7.5. Crazy high interest rate. So the difference is between your deal and that deal is that the tenant was paying 1250 PITI on this, 633. So we have the cash flow there. So the moral of the story is the house can need renovation, like Gabe or not Gabe, GB13s, like Gary's. The house can need some renovation, just a little bit, not a lot. Minor rental distress. The house can have a high entry fee. Even it can be closer to 15% down, but when the cash flow is not there, it's hard. And the reason why it's hard is because these houses don't go up in value over time, which is a really controversial thing to say. People are like, what do you mean they don't go up in value over time? But if you look at the previous sales history of this particular property in Detroit, in 2006, somebody copped it for $73,000. You know what 73K in 2006 is, but in present value? Probably like 150, if not more. So yeah, these things don't go up in value, meaning the most important thing is cash flow.
Thanks, Rich.
All right, talk soon. I sent him the 3% interest rate one. We'll see. Yusuf, we already talked to you, right?
It's only the deal that I just got for 60,000 and it's rented out for 1,400.
Right. What was the address on that one?
I sent it to you, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Right, Glenfield. Tenant in place at $1,400 per month.
Yep. I have the lease agreement too. If you want, I can send it to you right now.
Please, yes.
Yep.
We have lease to approve, right? Price, you have it at 60?
60,000.
65. Okay. Shooting our shot at another one. I hope it's not destroyed, but I would start to add this into your calls. I'd say, like, we have been so close to closing on so many, but we come back and send pictures of the hole in the basement. Send pictures of that and say, like my, and what you can say is, my lender for long-term rent will not approve me nor anybody else if there are significant repairs needed in the property. If it's a short-term loan, like a hard money loan, I could care less, but I'm not flipping these. I'm renting these. In order for me to get financing on these, they need to be in good condition. So if you're thinking, oh, I'll just tell him it's in good condition, I just want to let you know, like, we're going to back out because I have no way to.
Exactly. I really don't want to waste time too. It's so bad thing to get deals and fall into the inspection. But yeah, like the property looks good from the inside. He told me there is no issue at all. The tenant has been in place since March 2026, not a long time ago. And yep, hopefully it's in a good area and we can sell it.
Hopefully so. Hopefully so. I just sent that over, and then I'm going to send that also to Joseph. So I'm going to start sending these to Quaid as well, because he can also help. So Joseph.
So you have any feedback on the 4 single families in Detroit? Mortgage takeovers?
Who am I talking to? Oh,
GB.
Those are the ones where the cash flow is really tight, right?
It's not really. I mean, you know, the lowest one is like $150 of cash flow.
I have not. So I know that they're. So hold on one sec. There's a lot of feedback. I'm going to mute your mic. Yeah, there was another one. Detroit 4 SFR. These are better. Yes. I'm waiting on that buyer to get back to me, but those are all sellable through my dispo team, Gary. So those, every single one, all 11 of them, unless they're super messed up, are sellable through my dispo team. So I would say continue to work with Shell, because what Shell is going to do is she's going to literally cold call all buyers who have previously acquired deals from us, and she's going to start selling those as packages and individually. I think what's most likely is that Joseph takes like 2 or 3, because they're kind of picky, if I'm being honest. And then we're able to sell the others off to individual one-off buyers in our network. So, dude, your person to over communicate with right now is Shell. She's really going to help.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So you've been situated. I've got a mental note of everything that you're doing. And then Mike, I am going to actually let Quaid know about your deals. I'm going to send those 2 to him too. Oh, here we go. Okay, here we go. Updates. Hello, sir. I've been talking to Quaid, so I can stop bothering you as much. I forget that Quaid is your operations guy. So I've been talking to Quaid on the past 2.
I don't mind. I mean, I like hearing your voice at the end of the day. It makes me feel good like things are getting done. And Quaid's pretty awesome, but yeah, at the end of the day, you give me a call. So hold on 1 second. Hold on. I literally just got off the trails and I want to give you a call back. So you saw Sue in the text thread that posted about the earnest money being due on the 8th, not today.
She just told me it was due on today. Why? Now she's telling you it's due on the 8th?
Yeah, you saw the text thread group that we're all in, the one that you posted in. She just confirmed. She goes, I told the agent that the earnest money was moved to the 8th via contract. So I'm like, hey, Sue, can you just drop a screenshot so we're all on the same page here? Yeah, they literally just got done walking the thing, so I don't think there'll be an issue. And we can get that wrapped up. And then I saw you put me in the group chat with Gary, so thank you for that. I'm driving for the next 45 minutes. When I get home, I'll respond there. But yeah, we got everything moving. And you just sent me another deal you said for $65K for the $14 in rent.
Yes. Sue is telling me right now that EMD is due tomorrow. I don't know why we're getting mixed messages on this. Tomorrow's the 5th. Sue, what's the case on this?
So I told you before, I explained, do you hear me? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, so I explained in the text that the agent is saying that it's due tomorrow. And you said today. I think we had a miscommunication there. But I answered the agent and I told them that it was until the 8th. So I'm looking at the contract to see if it's the 8th, but the agent is saying it's supposed to be tomorrow. I don't know why.
If the contract says the 8th, it's the 8th. So what does it say on paper?
I'm checking it right now.
Okay, well, Joseph, you guys, I talked to Quaid. Quaid seemed to be very close on it. He said that you're just waiting for an insurance quote. The walkthrough on the other two went well. And when you get that insurance quote, your buyer can submit EMD and move to close.
That's the game plan.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, it might be due tomorrow. I would just let Quaid know about that.
Yeah, that's why I was just saying if she could just post a screenshot of when the earnest money is due on the contract, then that gives us clarity to push the buyer.
Okay. I'm also going to let Quaid know about those 2 Akron deals.
Perfect.
Just because I know you've probably got your hands full.
Yeah, let him know all the deals. Send them to him. In fact, us being in a group text always helps. So at the end of the day, whatever makes it easier, we'll go from there.
Okay, I'll just make sure that those get over to him as well. But yeah, it's been overwhelming lately, man. There's just so much. It's really, really overwhelming, and I don't know how to prevent these things from falling through the cracks. I was thinking we could use a CRM, and rather than me just telling you about these, I know you already are with my team, but of course I call you and let you know about one-offs that my team doesn't see.
When you call me and you let me know, I upload it into Slack, and we use AI to keep track of everything. So we have our AI agent that updates us on all the moving properties. So that's being handled well by AI. Just kind of I'm open to either. So whatever makes your life easier, we can do.
Yeah, will you give me access to the Slack? Like add me on it, just so I can start.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll just start populating them, and that'll
make life a lot easier for everybody. I think that's the best solution there for that. We'll just upload it into Slack and go from there.
And then Yusuf is asking about his deal. He's the one who has that $65K $1,400 rent occupied property. Do we want to schedule a walkthrough on that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Just let me know a date and time, and I'll make it happen.
I will. I'll get over to my property manager, and we'll go from there.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
You know what? The thing is about having virtual assistants is you can connect them with your buyers, but the buyers don't necessarily respond unless you're the one who is calling them. They respond, but it's a little bit harder because they're like, "Who's this?" And it's a woman who's on the other side of the country, and they're competent. But yeah, that does happen. By the way, we got a $30K assignment yesterday, and I didn't tell anybody, and EMD is in. I didn't tell anybody, but maybe y'all saw it y'all know about the Buy Box Cartel Instagram account? Go follow buyboxcartel.com on Instagram if you want to see your deals posted daily. But we actually sold it, and I'm going to show you the deal right now. It's kind of insane. I don't know who got this, so if this is your deal, please come up. I actually personally sold it myself because we didn't find a buyer, and I was like, no, we're finding a buyer on this. It is, yeah, it's this one. Y'all see this on Instagram? That sold for $30,000 yesterday. Earnest money has been submitted. Y'all want to take a brief break to talk about what this is and how the hell they did this? If this is yours, come on up. I don't know who did this. Are you in Colorado? You look familiar. No, I'm in Portland, but Portland and Denver are similar cities, aren't they? Okay. Check this out. This is Oak Crest Drive in Fort Worth. Okay, so it's a new construction, and it's a new construction 5 unit, and a new construction 5 unit is rare, guys. Like, that's pretty rare. This doesn't look to be in a very high income area, but the property's nice. it's finished now. This photo, I don't know when this was taken, but it's a finished property now, and it looks like this. I don't know if my camera is showing, but this is what it looks like. And the terms that y'all got on this property, maybe I can find it on a different website. The terms that y'all got are just beautiful. There it is. There it is. Check it out. So this is the property. It is a 5-unit multifamily. The house is done. At least I think it is. I'm under the impression that it's done, but the house is done and earnest money has been submitted on it. And here are the terms: 1.1 million, 100K down. Monthly payments are $4,500, and it will rent out for $11,000. Your taxes are probably $1,500 taxes and insurance. So you probably pay $6,000 and rent out for $11,000. So that's really solid for only really solid for only 100K down. And the other thing that I'll say is that your monthly payment is 0% interest. It's 15 beds, 6 baths. So maybe it's a 6-unit, or maybe no, it's a 5. It's a 5-unit, but one of them slightly bigger. So you pay down $4,500 a month. And guys, you know how your car payment doesn't go down by the amount that you pay it down by? Like, what are our car payments? $200, $300, $400, $500. Your car payment doesn't go down by the amount you pay it down by, right? Maybe it goes down by 5 to 10% of that. Like, if you pay $300, what do you think it goes down by? 50 bucks, depending on your interest rate, maybe 100 if you have a better interest rate. But that's the same thing with houses. You pay $4,500, but in a normal scenario, you may only pay down $500 out of that $4,500. But the significance of 0% interest is that every payment you make goes towards what you owe. So I've got a couple properties myself like this, but a $4,500 decrease to your mortgage every month is rather unheard of. So each year you pay down $54,000 from your mortgage. Before the balloon is done, you pay down $324,000, except you also pay down $100K for the down payment, meaning that you pay down $424,000 over 6 years, which is disgusting. That's crazy. So yeah, that's really good. The individual who locked it up is a mystery person. I don't know who did it, but if it's you, come up so we can give you a high five. We had a buyer of ours named Costas submit earnest money at $130,000 entry, making for a $30,000 finder's fee. Now, the thing is, guys, these buildings are just sitting, and it used to be the main thing that Hold My Hand Wholesale did. But we started doing a lot of cash deals, but this stuff still works. This stuff still works really well. So if you go to a market like Houston, and then you leave Houston, and you go to like Conroe, right? Now where are we? We're in Conroe, Texas. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And you look at multifamily properties, you're just going to find some impossible deals, like some deals that just would not work. Like this. This is insane. I can't believe that this is real. This is like the worst thing I've ever seen. In fact, I think I even spoke to the agent on this. This property is a 2-bed, 2-bath for 1.1 million, and it's a multifamily. It's going to negatively cash flow massively. So nobody's ever going to buy this. It just sits and sits and sits and sits. And if they don't have a mortgage on it, it's really easy to sell or finance something like that. But I tend to go into the areas that are not rural, but less known. So like this is called College Station or Bryan, Texas. I don't really know what Bryan is or what College Station is, but look how many of these multifamilies are just sitting here, guys. They're just so many. Now, here's the thing that I wouldn't call on: new construction. I don't think you should call on a new construction multifamily. And the reason I don't think you should call on that is because they have private debt attached to the deal. that needs to be paid off. And they also have hard money loans that need to be paid off, because nobody is building $1 million building in cash. I mean, maybe some people are, but it's a really poor use of money. And it's much better to get a private or hard money loan for that sort of investing. So yeah, these are all multifamilies. Some of them work, some of them don't work. It's best to call on the ones that don't work. So like this guy right here, it's a quadplex. It's listed for $579. I bet it works. And I'll show you what I mean by works. Let's zoom in. So what do you think they're renting for? If we look up for rent, you can see that this house is for rent right now at $1,100, $1,050 actually. So they probably get $1,050 times 4. They pay $4,200, or they bring in $4,200 per month on this property. Do we think it works, or do we think it doesn't work? Well, that all depends on whether or not I can pull up the tab that I had open. How did I do that? There we go. Gosh, I should just close some of these tabs. Nope. Okay. So we know that they're trying to get $1,050 for this, right? They're asking $580. But the problem is, so what do you mean sign in? Somebody just try to sign into my account? No, we're good. Okay. So bear with me, guys. I got signed out of my account. Bear with me. I got to sign back in. Can't share my password. Okay, I'm back in. As I was saying, guys, the property that's on my screen right now is listed for $580,000. Oh my God. The property that's on my screen, they want $580, right? It looks to be tenant occupied in all units except for one. All units are tenant occupied except for one unit. Maybe they're doing that so that they can show the property. However, they're looking for a tenant on that property right now, and they'd like to get about $1,050 for it, meaning that when it's fully occupied at their asking price, the property brings in $4,200. But do you really think that they are bringing in $1,050 on every single unit? No, it's probably like one of them is $900, one of them is $750, one of them is $1,050, and then one of them is $1,000. So more realistically, they bring in like $3,700 or something like that. But we'll consider it to be the $4,200 just to illustrate my point here. And I think most people know where I'm going with this. But you know, if you offered them $580 and you gave them a down payment, well, remember, you're not giving them a down payment. You make a down payment with the bank. The down payment with the bank is going to be 20%. That's $116,000. Your interest rate will be 7%. Now let's add your taxes and insurance onto this. They say $764, but is it really $764? Maybe, maybe not. I don't really know. So I'm going to put this thing into PropStream, and then PropStream will tell me the real taxes here. Okay, so they think that the taxes are $8,739. 8,739 divided by 12 is 728. So Zillow was pretty much right, wasn't it? 728, they say 764. Yeah, they're pretty much right. So 728 for our taxes, and then insurance on this bad boy. I'll just use Zillow's estimate. They think 193. It's definitely higher than that. I'll use 250. I'll use 250 for insurance. $978 is your monthly payment. You've also got your principal and interest of $3,100. Okay, how many people would do this deal with me? How many people would do this deal with me? To remove the house from this deal, and I make this point all the time. This is one of my favorite points. I've never heard anybody talk about it, but to remove the house and to purely look at this as numbers, your investment is going to be like this. You must spend about $125,000. You're going to spend about $130,000, $125 to $130. That's going to be your investment. Tell me if there's anybody here who feels good about this investment. Your investment of $125,000 to $130,000, In an ideal scenario, will net you about $3,300 per month, assuming 20% expense margins, like for management, like for vacancy. But at full occupancy, you should be making $3,300 a month from your investment of $130,000. However, that's gross. Your investment of $130,000 also comes with monthly payments because it's a mortgage. You put $130,000 down for the right to pay the rest of the mortgage. Now that mortgage is going to cost you about $4,100. So to look at this investment on paper and just to underwrite it at a very basic level, you drop $130,000 and you get -$700, -$800 even. And that's an ideal scenario. So do we think that anybody who has made that sort of money is looking to do that deal? And when I say made that sort of money, what I mean by that is, let's say you have $130K to spend. Are you stupid? I mean, you could be. Maybe you inherited it, but are you like dumb? Because you'd have to be an absolute idiot to do that deal. Like you'd have to be slow. What would be a good decision on this deal? Well, the agent may argue this. You may move in one side and rent out the other. You may move in one side and rent out the other. And that's okay. But I think it's less than likely here, guys. And the reason why I think that's unlikely is because if we filter for single family at the same price point, let's see what you can get. I mean, let's look for a single family at the same price point. Remember, you're living in a 2-bed, 1-bath with 1,000 square feet for about $600,000, right? That's if you move into the property. At the same time, if you want a single family property that's of the same price, you're going to get this. Well, let's do this. This is the exact same price. So your alternative is pretty big house, 2-car garage, nice living, garden, patio, backyard, maybe even a pool. You have 2.5x the square footage. This is what you'd buy if you were going to live in that property. You could buy this for the same price. It's in a gated community. So gated community, 3-bed, 3-bath, 2,600 square feet, or spend your $580,000. Where did she go? Oh no. I'm losing my example. Spend your $580,000 and live in this unit. You guys see this unit? This is your unit. It's about 1,000 square feet. It's 2 beds, 1 bath, and it's not awful. It's okay. So my perspective is it's going to be pretty hard to get this deal done. And that's how most of our students get their seller financing deals. So now I'll call and I'll see if I can make my case to the seller. And this is where I think a lot of you fall short. A lot of you fall short on a pitch like this because you call and you say, would your seller like to do seller financing? I call and I say, hey, I'm trying to get pre-approved for this thing with my lender, but I sent it to him and he said that with taxes and insurance, I'd pay about $4,200. I saw these are for rent for about that. What are you guys bringing in rent? About $3,900, $4,000 if we're occupied. Okay. I noticed you're advertising this as an investment opportunity. If you're looking for an investor, how does an investor get qualified for that? Because after 2008, lenders can't just give a loan. They have guidelines. And if you're losing money every month, all buyers get declined. So I guess I'm interested in this thing, but like, how do I buy it and make money is the main question I'd have. And then maybe you're looking for a buyer that's cool with losing money. How does that buyer get qualified? Maybe I am down to lose $800 a month for $130K investment. But if I am down for that, how do I get the lender to also be okay with it? Because their guidelines would prevent me from qualifying. So they're still going to say no to your offer, right? You still have to do that 10 times. Like Jennifer, the realtor, is going to be like, I'm so sorry. I tried to present it and they just aren't interested in that at this time. So they're still going to say no, but something different happens. You don't feel like you pitched something and got shot down, right? So for me, when I used to cold call like back to back to back to back to back, God, it felt really bad when I would make an offer and they would just like step on that offer. And it was just like, why the hell would I take that? Because now what happens is I'm your buyer at your asking price. How do I do it? And if you guys say you don't know how do I do it, what about seller finance? And if you say no to seller finance, right. I wouldn't really want to do seller finance either. You remember that was kind of the solution to the issue that every buyer is running into. So right. I don't want to do seller financing. I'm just trying to figure out how to do it. You're the person selling this property. Do you know who might be the buyer for this asset? And then I just follow up over a course of a couple months, like every week or so, calling them and saying, hey, are you under contract? And if they never go under contract, it can turn into a $30,000 to $50,000 check. But I do want to note that this makes it easier on you, and this makes the realtor see the truth, but you still have to pitch this 10 times for one to say yes. And that's if you pitch it well. If you pitch it poorly, you could make 100 calls and all of them would say no. Now, there are some other factors that go into whether or not I would call this individual. And some of those factors are like, what do you owe on the property? Now I can see that this guy has a beautiful mortgage on his house, a beautiful mortgage. He owes $237 and it's a 3% interest rate, $237. So the scenario that I would probably pitch to him is, you're asking for $580. I'll give you that $580, but I want to make payments for your equity. I'll give you a down payment. Yeah, I'll give you a down payment. I'll probably give you about 60, 65, even 70K down. 70K down would be okay on this thing because it's a nice property. What is left to finance on that? Well, if they're asking for $580, I give them the $580. They owe $237. Was it $237? Yeah, they owe $238. So there's $342 there. And let's say I put down $65,000. They'd be financing me about $277. And then towards the $277, what sort of monthly payments could I make? Well, that depends. The house probably brings in $4,000 because chances are they don't have all of the highest rents possible. Very few times a property has the best rents possible. So $4,000 less, probably about 15. I want to take off 20%. $4,000 less 20% is $3,200. This is for expenses. And then we also have our mortgage payment with the seller. The mortgage payment with the seller is $1,142. And I should say that's with the bank, $1,142. And then they also have taxes and insurance. Taxes and insurance, $200 for insurance. Taxes are, remember, $739. So here's the pickle. Here's the pickle about this deal, which is why I, if a seller, would not accept the offer that I'm being made. The seller doesn't currently know this. The seller doesn't currently know this, but he only makes $1,100 a month after taxes, after insurance, after all of it. However, the seller still probably receives more than that per month. But when you actually do the numbers of it, after his mortgage, after everything else, he makes $1,100 a month. I have to pay him out of his profit figure, which means that in the seller's mind, he's giving up $270,000 of proceeds for $500 a month. Does that seem like a good deal to you? No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound very good at all. And I honestly, I would think that the only reason that they would take that is if they were underwater, like pre-foreclosure, or if they have been on market for 200 days. Because to be honest, guys, wholesaling is understanding the mind of a seller. And here's what the seller is thinking. The seller is selling for $580, but owes $237. meaning he's going to make $300,000. A little bit more than that, right? He's going to make $300K. I'm only giving him a $60K down payment, out of which his realtor is paid, so call it $50K, and then $500 a month. So you have to think about what he's giving up. The seller is giving up $300,000 for $50K and $500 a month. And he has to carry the debt in his name, which is a little bit of a mental headache to carry debt in your name. So I don't think he would say yes to this, especially 1 week on the market. I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening. Now, chat, do you want me to go through that underwrite one more time as to why I could only pay him $500 a month? Because something else I need to tell you about is you need to get your down payments worth in cash flow. What do I mean by down payments worth in cash flow? Well, it's just like any commodity. Cash flow is like any commodity. The more money you spend, the more cash flow you should get. So when somebody comes to me and says, is $500 cash flow good? I'd say, oh yeah, if it's a Section 8 property for maybe $80K, that's good. But is $500 cash flow good for a $60K down payment? And remember, you're thinking $60K down, the buyer's thinking $60K plus your $10K assignment plus closing costs, call it $75K down. Is it good to receive $500 per month on $75K? Well, how many times does 6,000 go into 75? 12 and a half? What's 100 divided by 12 and a half? 7 or so. So that's a 7% return on investment. That's not very good. Not at all. So I honestly can't see this deal working for any conventional buyer unless they're willing to house hack, which I get it. You could house hack, but seems unlikely given what you could buy for a single family in the area. And I also don't think the seller would accept my offer unless he's in pre-foreclosure or has been sitting on the market for ages. So this is the analysis. This is what you guys need to be thinking about when you go into a deal like this. I'll summarize my thoughts really quickly. This is not going to work for a normal investor. And for that reason, I'd probably want to pitch seller finance on it. But if I did pitch seller finance, I have to account for the seller's mortgage. He has a mortgage of $238. That means that the guy probably has like $250, $300 in equity. Based on these payments and based on the rent of the property, I could probably only pay him $500 after taking 20% off the top and after subtracting his mortgage payment. Does it make sense for a real estate investor to give up the potential to make 300 grand in exchange for my 50K down payment and 500 a month? Not really, actually. No. So you know what? Probably pass on this one. Probably pass on this because I hate to make an offer that I don't think anybody could accept, right? I wouldn't accept it myself, so I don't think I can pitch it with confidence. I only pitch with confidence if I myself would take the offer that I'm making. I don't understand the concept of taking over somebody's debt and paying the representative commission. Sure, yeah. So the way that debt is taken over normally is through an assumption process. You know about assuming a loan, right? You know, you could assume some mortgages. Not all mortgages are assumable, but some are. Usually government-backed mortgages like an FHA or VA loan can be assumed by somebody else. Not all loans are assumable. And then the other thing about assuming a loan is that it goes on your debt-to-income ratio. You have to qualify for that loan on your personal credit if it's an investment loan, right? So qualifying for the loan, not very easy. The interest rate may also go up on you if you assume the loan. So something that's really convenient for a real estate investor is to have somebody else's name stay on the loan, but you buy the property. This has been something that's been done in real estate for probably 100 years, and it's been done under the table. And I'm most known on social media for exposing multiple different ways to get this done. How do you take over debt without assuming the debt? There are some ways that are better than others, but I'll tell you 3 ways that you could do it off the top of my head. The first way that you could do it is you could buy the LLC. So imagine you have an investment property and the debt is tied to the LLC. I could buy your LLC from you. I've never done this before, but people do, and it gets done, but I've never done it before. The second way that I could do it is a subject to deal. Subject to stands for purchasing a property subject to the existing mortgage. I do this from time to time. I own one property subject to, but the hurdles that you run into as subject to are everybody's heard of it in the real estate agent space. So it's hard to get somebody to say yes to it if the house is for sale with a realtor, which is where my third way comes into play. And this is my favorite way to do it because 1, nobody's heard of it. 2, it provides extra protections for the seller and the buyer that you wouldn't typically get in a subject to deal. And this is how I own the majority of my portfolio. You put the property into a trust and you buy the trust off of the seller. Now, how is that different from buying the LLC? Well, the way that we structure this to be in compliance with the due on sale clause is we keep the owner on. And it's like, whoa, what? The owner still owns the property? Their name is on the trust, but in writing, they don't have any profit to receive from the rental of that property or the sale of that property, and they can't make any decisions. Where else would we see this happen? I'll tell you 2 places where we'd see this happen. My grandmother had a house in California, and she kind of lost her mind. She like very, very quickly, just like completely, like I remember towards the end of her life, she was like, just like that. Like she just like a fish. She turned into a fish. My grandmother turned into a fish. And she couldn't make good decisions for her property anymore. So it may have been my dad, but it also may have been their attorney. But another individual got added on to the ownership of the trust that owns the property. Now grandma can't make any decisions for that trust, right? Because she's not really there. Like somebody could scam her. Somebody could get her to transfer information. She can't make any decisions. So in essence, you can add somebody onto the ownership of a trust as long as they don't leave. Now, we also see this happening in primary residences. Like let's say an actor gets married to a non-actor. What are the chances are that the non-actor can afford that person's mortgage and house and qualification? Probably pretty low if they're a successful actor, right? So person gets married to somebody who can't afford their house, but maybe you want to share your assets with that person. So you add them onto the ownership. Their name's not on the mortgage. Ownership is separate from mortgage, right? Now here's where it gets a little bit hairy and a little bit complicated. There is a law regarding trusts that says that if you add somebody onto the ownership of a trust, the original person must reside in that property. That is a law. This is getting really technical, but how do we get around the law that says if you add somebody onto the trust, that person must reside in the property still? This person can indefinitely lease their portion of the trust to the other person to satisfy that law. I know, super, super complicated, but that's how it works. That's how it works. Now, when do we I'm sorry I went into all of that, guys. Everybody's probably like, oh, what the fuck? Are you serious? We have to know all this shit? No, you don't. You don't have to know all of this. It's nice and it's cool. It's cool if you can wrap your head around it, but you want to know how to keep this really simple? You want to know how to keep this really, really, really simple? Find ones that don't have a mortgage on it. Find multifamily that doesn't cash flow, but also doesn't have a mortgage on it. Because now there's no due on sale, lender, debt to income ratio, trust, none of that. Take all of everything I just said and get rid of that shit. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Null and void. In what scenario does it not matter? There's no mortgage. There's no mortgage, right? So if a house doesn't have a mortgage on it, yeah, you can sell it on a set of payments. No problem, you could sell it on a set of payments. In fact, I've got a house right now that I will sell on a set of payments for $0 down in Texas. So if you're like, well, wait a second, I don't know if that exists. I've got a house in San Antonio. It's fully renovated. It's a 3-2. It's in Selma, which is San Antonio. It's a suburb. And I would sell it seller finance for $0 down. $0 down. And here's a really good point in the chat. I don't know if he's talking about what I'm talking about here, but he says, I'll use it as a last resort. And maybe he's talking about something else, but seller finance is often a last resort, right? We don't want to seller finance our properties. I mean, that's not entirely true, because here's the thing, guys. Can I get some hometowns in the chat? Where are we from? Where are we from? Why don't we drop some hometowns in the chat for me? Anybody live in Atlanta? Do you lose your homestead? No. Des Moines, Iowa. Des Moines, no S. Des Moines, Iowa, right? Des Moines. Cool. Let's look at Des Moines, Iowa. We'll look at Atlanta first, and we'll look at Des Moines, Iowa. So I want to show you guys one thing really quickly here. Check this out. Some people want seller finance, and you don't have to go through any pitch with them whatsoever. So check this out. If you go to Zillow and you go to the Atlanta Metro or just anywhere, and you look up seller finance, these are all properties that mention seller finance somewhere in their description. And the thing is, a lot of these say seller finance, but they say no seller finance. So they say no seller finance. So let's see if this says no seller finance. Do not disturb access. Cap rate within 10 minutes. Where does it say seller finance? Seller. Does it not say finance? Finance? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Okay, so that one doesn't say it. Let's look at another one. Let's see. And I want to look for something that we want to seller finance, like maybe this guy. Owner finance program available. Lease and purchase. So here's the thing about this one. This is a single family, and they're down to seller finance. But do you see how nice it is? Doesn't that look nice to you? Yeah. I mean, I don't love the rehab. This is kind of a hard thing for my eyes to look at, but it's nice. So do you think they're going to seller finance at 0% interest, 10% down? No. You know what they're going to want? I want 20% down, 8% interest. And you're going to be like, oh my God, dude, that doesn't cash flow. What are you thinking? And you know what they're thinking? They're thinking, I want a tenant buyer. I want to do what Jason does. Jason's the guy who's buying my mortgage takeover right now. He's going to do a tenant buyer. So he'll be looking for owner financing, but that's not the type of owner finance we want to do, because that's for somebody to live in. However, what if we stack an additional filter and we look at multifamily? So this is all multifamily that mentions seller finance somewhere in the description. Okay, this thing looks to be kind of cooked. I mean, do they want seller finance? I bet they do. Owner financing available. Yeah. So owner financing is available on this, but two things. Where the hell is Carlton, Georgia? And what's going on with that roof right there, guys? I don't know. So let's look at a couple others. 180K, Decatur, great market. Is this a condo? It's a townhouse. So no, we don't do that. Don't do that. Here's another one, multifamily. So this one says tenant has never late. Okay, this one says no seller financing. I must have just missed that. So this says no seller financing. So they don't want seller financing, because some of these, in fact, most of these will say no seller financing. Let's see. This is a weird house, man. What the hell? What did you do, bro? That's an awful property. Oh, God. Landlord special. What is the landlord special? It's good enough. The water turns on, but you look at the piping and it's just like an absolute maze of pipes that they've somehow made work. Yeah, this is a code violation nightmare. This thing looks like they took a mobile home and they stacked a single family on the back of it. Yeah, no, I wouldn't even want to go into that. So if it's that bad, don't seller finance it. We don't want it. And honestly, Atlanta is probably not the best place to look. So let's go to Des Moines or Davenport, Iowa. Okay, all of these have decimal points, which lets me know that they're bank owned. Not interested. Let's go to Davenport. Decimal points, bank owned. Let's go to Jacksonville. Nice. Lots of seller financing opportunities here. Now, there is a guy in Jacksonville named Alexander. We can't see the screen. I think y'all can see my screen. Everybody in Discord, can you see my screen? Chat, let me know if you can see my screen right here. Yeah, so TikTok. I'll be honest, you're watching an advertisement for my screen share right now. It's a lot more than my screen share, but I sell access to my screen share and Q&A sessions for $20. Like, so if you want to ask me a question or come on stage or actually see what I'm doing as I'm doing it so that you can do the same, click the link in my bio. It's $20. Okay. So Jacksonville has all kinds of opportunities, but you need to watch out for Alexander. This is Alexander. He has been trying to sell these properties for maybe 5 years, as long as I've been wholesaling. These houses in Jacksonville, he's been trying to sell them for as long as I've been wholesaling. Don't call him. They're not deals. You need to be aware. And how do you know if it's him? Well, his descriptions are written in all caps. This is not him, but his descriptions are like all caps, and you just need to be aware of that. But some people are asking for seller finance. Other people are not asking for seller finance, but they need seller financing. So one thing that I might want to check out, and look at this. This is Gainesville. This is Gainesville, Florida. Do they want seller financing? Seller financing option available. Call for details. Yeah, they want seller financing. So some people want it, you know, but you know what can be nice though? If you go after those that don't want it. So who doesn't want it but needs it? Well, this is Columbus, Georgia. It's a pretty cheap market. Let's check this guy. This is a triplex. So this guy doesn't really need it. It's going to cash flow, but it's been sitting here for a long time. He says no seller finance. He says no seller finance. So I'm going to remove my seller finance keywords and I'll find one that I think is great. I'm going to use PropStream to find one, and I'm going to look for it in, where should I look? I want a medium good area. We'll do Denver. I'll look in Denver. I'm going to look in Denver, Colorado, and I'm going to do active properties. Well, you know, Denver's good, but I wonder if there's somewhere else. Like, how about Dallas, Fort Worth? Dallas, Fort Worth. So Dallas, Texas, and we're going to go for, because there's so many multifamilies in Dallas, guys. We're going to go for mortgage or valuation and equity, and we're going to put minimum equity 100%. Minimum equity 100%. Now, none of these people have mortgages. Then I'm going to filter for multifamily, residential, 2 to 4 and 5+. And I'm going to put in a minimum price point filter of perhaps $400. Why minimum 400,000? And you know, maybe I'll go up to 600. I'll go up to 600. The thing is, 200 and 300K multifamilies, they cash flow. They cash flow. Things that are listed for 750, no chance in hell. Now, some multifamilies are listed for 750 and they're trying to sell it to somebody to live in it because it looks really nice. That is not this. That is not this. This thing is gross, but it's pending. Somebody picked it up. Devastating. Now somebody must be living in one side and renting out the other. You want to know why I think that? It just doesn't make sense. Let's call it. Let's call and ask. I mean, we could call and ask. Let's just. I'm so curious. I'm so curious who bought this. The reason why I'm curious who bought this or who's buying this is it's really gross inside and it loses a ton of money as an investment. Like, let's say you buy this for $750, guys. Let's just say you buy it for $750. You need to come up with 150 racks as a down payment at 6% interest, paying $3,500 a month. Taxes and insurance bring your $3,500 a month, $3,560 plus $1,250 to $4,810, and it's actually $1,300. Yeah, you're paying $4,800 to buy this property. But what does it rent out for? What does it rent out for? Well, let's find out. Let's find out. I can't rationalize it. You know what I think it must be? You know what I think it must be? I think it's a place to store your money to avoid taxes for people who work W-2 jobs that make them a lot of money and they don't know about real estate. I think lawyers do it, and I think doctors do it, and I think engineers do it who are 50 to 70 years old. I think you've got a 50 to 70-year-old doctor, lawyer, engineer, high-income W-2, and they're like, it's time for some real estate investing. And I don't think they get a loan. I think they pay cash. And I think they just hold on to it, and they accept whatever return they can get. I think they're just putting their money there. So I'll see if I can find this thing on the map, because I'd love to find out who bought it. I am really curious. It's pending, so it's hiding from me. There it is. So I'm gonna call and ask, but it could really only be an owner occupant who's living in one side and renting out the other, or a high income W-2 individual who just doesn't really make good decisions. So let's go for sale to for rent. This is a house for $3,300. So chances are a unit rents for $2,000, right? So you probably bring in $4,000 per month, but you pay $4,800. So it's not it's a really bad deal. But I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious what happened here. So I'm going to call the realtor really quick, and I'll just ask. I'll just say, hey, I wanted to buy this. I saw it's pending. Are you guys still pending? And she'll say, yes, we're pending. And I'll say, oh, yeah, I'm so curious. What price did they pay for this? Yes, there's a lot of fake accounts. Let's call this realtor. Here we go.
Hello, you have reached the office of Francana Compat.
Okay, she's not available. But what I'll do is I'll just look up her name really quick. But honestly, this isn't super productive, is it? We're calling on pending properties. There's no reason to call on pending properties. I was just curious. And honestly, now that I see this area, I know that the house has to just look like an investment and not work as an investment. Because honestly, guys, if that went pending, think about what else could go pending. Great investment opportunity, occupied units with one vacancy, house hack opportunity for beginners. Yeah, so they know what they're looking for. They know what they're looking for. They know it's not going to work. Now the house is kind of gross, so I really do think that we could seller finance this. Let's see if they're free and clear. I probably should just revisit my free and clear list rather than, yeah, I'm just going to go off my free and clear list. Now guys, for the next property I call, I'm going to look for something specific. I want it to be very industrial investment looking. Do you know what I mean by industrial investment looking? I need it to be a box. No stylistic decisions made by the builders. I need it to be a straight box or above 5 units, because if it's above 5 units, guys, there's no getting a residential loan on it. And here's the box. You see this box right here? I'm unclear as to which box it is, but it is one of these boxes. It could be this box. Now, here's why I like this. Are we going to live in the box and rent out the other sides? No, we're not. There's 2 reasons. 1, it's a literal concrete prison. 2, you can't get a residential loan on this. Now, this is a 12-unit property. It's a free and clear 12 unit. They've been here for 184 days. They have no mortgage on the property. And I don't know anything about the inside or really which building it is because there's multiple photographed here. I think it's this one or this one. We have to see if this thing doesn't work. Now, it's in Dallas, Texas, in 75203 zip code. Let's figure out what they'd rent for. I really don't know. For rent? Okay, probably 1,200, right? That's a nice one too. 739 square feet, 1,200. Yeah. Yeah, so you probably get 1,200 times 12, and you probably are bringing in 1,000 on average. So they're probably bringing in 12,000. The only thing that I see wrong with this, guys, is it might actually work for somebody. Because look at this. $925 is their asking price, which requires $185K down payment at 6% interest. Their mortgage is well below $12,000. Right? Their mortgage is $1,500 plus $4,400. And that is going to be what, 6,000? So they're probably paying 6,000 if they buy this, and they could probably rent out for 12,000, if not more. Now I'll call and ask because that might not be the case. So we call the realtor right now, and now it's not at all about the discount. It's about talking through seller financing terms. So I'm going to call the realtor, and I'm going to see what we can learn.
This is Tara.
Hi, Tara. My name is Richard. I was calling about Baylock Drive in Dallas. Is that still available?
It is. How are you, Richard?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good.
Sorry for the late call.
I'm getting a little echo.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am on.
Let's
I'm on.
see if it's still there. No,
I am
we're
on
good.
speaker.
Okay.
I was next to a wall. It must have been bouncing off of it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry for the late call. I'm trying to get pre-qualified. My lender had a couple questions. I just couldn't find it from the listing. Mainly about occupancy and then what the rent was on this property. Do you happen to have that off the top of your head?
I do not. No. And so the apartment building has not been leased for several years.
Oh, so it might be
we're not gonna
distressed.
we're not going to have any rent rolls for that.
Interesting. I was estimating perhaps anywhere from 1,000 to 1,200. Do you have photos of the inside? Is it like bad?
I mean, it's definitely, we've got it priced for lot value. So.
Oh, tear down and new construction.
Yeah, somebody could definitely remodel it. And that's where our interest has been. But, I mean, it's an older building. It's going to need some capital improvement. So there were squatters in there for 3 years.
Ooh.
So the landlord's got the utilities turned off right now. The building's boarded up. I don't know what the condition is. I've never been inside.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
The type of loan that I use to purchase these is kind of contingent on appraisal and inspection for good condition because it's a rental loan. Do you have any other multifamilies that are in Dallas right now?
I do not. No.
Got it. Okay. No worries whatsoever. Save my number. I'm interested in these larger buildings that may come up from time to time, assuming they're in livable or close to that condition.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For the call.
Thanks so much for your time. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
So can't sell or finance a distressed building. Why? Why would you not want to sell or finance a distressed building? Does anybody know why? Why not? I mean, it could be better than the bank's terms, right? You probably could get better terms in the bank. The reason is because of what's the other option? You know what the other option is? The other option is a loan that covers both purchase price and renovation. So there are no seller financing terms that could be so good that you don't have to renovate the property, or it doesn't matter if you come up with renovation money. So we are looking for that one that's in good enough, good enough condition. This one right here, it probably is destroyed. That's what her tonality was letting me know, like to the point where it probably just isn't even worth it. You know, a roof on this thing alone could be like $50,000 plus. So can you clarify? No, old balance. I'm not, but be nice. Come on, be nice. Don't be disrespectful to those folks. But no, I'm not. Anyways, yeah, it's because you could get a loan for the rehab. Anyways, all right. So that is the box that we're looking for, but the issue is the condition is destroyed. Here's another box. This is a big box. It's a really big box, and the windows are boarded up, so it might also be in bad condition. Now, you could definitely do something like that. We do have buyers for stuff like that, and we have moved properties like that in the past. However, I do like it to be slightly smaller than that because that is rather intimidating. And the perfect deal is a mixture of box property and livable but not renovated condition. And what I mean by that is I want it to be in good enough condition to rent, but I don't want it to be a new build. I want it to be like an average build, an average property. So what's this right here, actually? Yeah, okay. Could you be average, or did they renovate? It's pretty average. Yeah, it just looks like it looks like it's probably been in that condition for some time. It looks like it's in good shape. I can't really see it though. I don't really see the listing, but yeah, it doesn't look amazing. It looks pretty average. And I don't think somebody's going to house hack this. This is an apartment complex, probably not able to house hack. It might be too many units. But yeah, that could be interesting. My only concern is I don't see where it's for sale. This thing is supposed to be for sale, right? I don't really see it for sale, guys. Last listed at 700. Oh, somebody bought it. Somebody bought it. Okay. As you go deeper into these prop stream listings, the information becomes old and it may not be for sale anymore. The mortgage is still accurate, but it may not be for sale. Anyways, those are the deals I like to seller finance. And this all stemmed from looking at this. Well, this is the first one that we were looking at, but this is perfect. I don't think somebody's going to live in one side and rent out the other units. The problem is I just don't see why they would accept my offer. But yeah, sometimes it can help to do this in non-mainstream markets, like if you do this in an off-market area. And then another thing that could help is if it's low equity. So one other filter that I might want to stack if I were you is switch up your equity to 20% maximum equity and then look at your deals. So a lot of these deals like this, they're not going to make any money on the sale. Now, this is a new build, so their mortgage is not really what you think it is. It's not something we can take over. So skip the new builds. If you want to skip all of the new builds, just put in a filter. So property details, you could go ahead and put in year built maximum 2015. So now you're not going to get any new constructions, right? So let's see what we can find now. And this guy is pretty good looking, except for it won't be available anymore. Look at the days on market. You see the days on market? That won't be available. It's honestly not even worth looking up, right? Yeah, so it's not for sale. So check the days on market, guys. Let's look at the first one. They're not really low equity. They're pretty low equity, although it looks really nice. It's not a new construction, but it is fully flipped. So they probably have a loan on it that allowed them to renovate the property like that. So probably not that one. Okay. That's something right there. Actually, I'll take this. Feedback on this listing right here. TikTok, I will show you because I like what I found here. How can I start? Click the link in my bio, click join Hold My Hand Wholesale, and then show up to this live stream so that you know what we're looking for. So I like this right here. This is what I would consider to be a decent deal. Check the interior. What do you notice? It's not very nice. It's like okay. Do you see how it's okay? Do you just see that, like the hanging cabinets? You've got hanging cabinets, but it's livable. It just is not like nice. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. Do you see how the grout right here is just not nice? It's just not nicely done. It looks like a cheap renovation, right? Some areas nicer than others, like this. But for the most part, the house is pretty like average. I mean, this part's actually pretty nice. That's pretty nice. But a lot of the other rooms, okay, actually, I think one unit is nice, the other is not. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. So one unit is nice, the other's not. Let's go back to the bad unit. That's the good unit. This is the bad unit. Yeah, look at the showers. Okay, so they renovated, but it seems like only one side is really nice. Now, this is a duplex, right? And it's been here for 76 days. It doesn't say anything about seller financing here, but what I do like is this thing is not, it's not that it's not going to cash flow, although it might not cash flow. It's what they owe versus what they're asking. They owe $492. They are asking $600, and they have been for a long time. So what's a potential structure? Well, you could offer to take over the $492, and then you could give them a down payment. But there's still a gap in there. What's the max we could put down on this? Probably 70, but not necessarily. We'll have to check cash flow. So as to whether or not we could put down 70 on this thing, it comes down to the cash flow. So you might view this as easier just taking over the debt rather than structuring seller financing terms, because you have to pitch seller finance. They have to be open to seller finance. But here, you just have to explain taking over the debt to them, which is a pretty common thing. In fact, you may want to mention this on the HUD statement, which is a closing form that's pretty largely used, or at least the older closing form that was used for a long time. On line 203, one of the options for closing says loans taken subject to. That document was prepared by the government. The Department of Housing and Urban Development made that document. And they saw it so commonly that subject to deals were happening that they put it onto the closing statement as a checkbox for title companies, just in case that method of sale is happening. So it's not some weird thing that I've invented. The United States Department of Housing and Urban Development is aware of this method, and they know it happens so commonly that it's an option, a line item for title companies on the HUD statements. So that's something that you guys could mention. But remember, we don't exactly do it the subject to method, because some of the due on sale clauses are actually happening and the realtors are aware of it. So here's what I'll do. I'll check to see if we could actually do this one, because I'm not sure. It's nice. It's nice on the inside. It's not perfect, but I'd say it's nice enough. I'm going to copy my zip code just in case Zillow makes it disappear, which they do a lot. And then I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to see what it might be renting for. So it looks like it's renting for, is that the property? Gosh, it kind of looks like it. No, it's the neighbor's house, but it's the same thing. But it's a house. So I bet they get $1,500 aside. That's bad. Yeah. Okay, this is a little bit rough, guys. Here's what I'm thinking. I bet they get $1,600 to $1,700 aside. Okay, $1,600 to $1,700 aside. Let's call it $1,600 aside times 2, $3,200. Their mortgage payment. No. Now I know why he needs to sell. Yeah. So guys, this is ass. This is bad. Bro pays probably $4,500 a month, and I bet he rents out for like probably $3K. Let's call. So I bet that this guy's open to me taking over the debt. And the reason I bet he's open to it is because his client is probably in trouble. Maybe he lives in one side.
This call may be recorded for training purposes.
Damn right.
Hi, good day. This is Antoinette here at Flipping Checking. How can I help you?
I'm sorry, I was looking for the listing agent of El Estado Drive in Dallas, Texas.
Awesome. How are you?
I'm well. Have I reached the right person?
I'm not sure. Okay, so what is your listing?
It's 15825 El Estado Drive.
Okay, let me see. You said 15825?
That's correct.
Okay, let me see what pops up. Okay, I do see someone requested, but I'm not sure the date. Was it from Cindy's team?
No. I'm separate. I don't know who that individual is. I was just curious about your rent so that I could go to my lender and see if I could get qualified.
Oh, so you're a buyer?
Yes, I'm not a realtor. My apologies. I should have clarified that.
Oh, okay. So you're interested in seeing this property?
Potentially. It kind of depends on the rents here. Do you know what the occupancy is for the property?
Okay, so this is the sell side of Redfin. But if you're looking to rent, you have to go on Redfin's rent side.
I've got 25.
Okay.
I've got 25 houses. I'm a real estate investor. I'm looking to buy the property, not rent.
Oh, you're looking to buy the property.
So the rent is important to me because I need to know if it's a good investment or not.
Okay, and you said you're a real estate agent?
No, I'm a buyer. I have 25 houses.
You have 25 houses. Okay. Do you have an account with Redfin already?
Okay. That's not worth my time. I had to go. I was just like, holy shit, bro. Okay. All right. Well, that's not the listing agent. We want to talk to the listing agent. Now, what was confusing to me is I didn't click contact agent. I called the number next to the listing agent, but the number next to the listing agent is a Redfin buyer's agent, which I've never had happen. That was a buyer's agent. So she couldn't help me out because she didn't know anything about the property because she was a buyer's agent for Redfin. But what's interesting is the listing agent put a buyer's agent that doesn't know anything about the property as the contact for the property. Which I probably should have looked at, but I just didn't think. I've never seen that happen before. I've never had that happen before, but I probably should have looked at it. Yeah. So some of our biggest deals ever are seller finance deals. I just got one for a $30K assignment in Houston, Texas, and it's a non-cash flowing multifamily property. And yeah, you know what's the trade-off here? What's the trade-off? Well, your deal is going to sell. You're going to sell your deal. You're not going to cancel your contract like you cancel a cash contract. However, it's probably 5 times harder to get them to be open to that type of deal. But it happens. And I will say, when Hold My Hand Wholesale started, this is all that we did. We only offered to take over mortgages and seller finance houses. That's all we did. And it worked, but it's hard. And I would say that if you know what you're looking for, it's not particularly hard. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get back to the community now. I'm going to see if I can take a couple questions. We're going to spin the wheel. I've still got 30 minutes to answer questions. And yeah, $30,000 assignment fee. Somebody in the Discord got one. If you're curious about what that deal was, take a screenshot of my screen right now. I'll show you. It was this. That sold for $30K, earnest money submitted. Anyways, let's let's talk about things. So just meowing. You had a deal that was in pretty much Birmingham, Alabama that hasn't sold yet, and you wanted to see if I could sell it?
Yeah, I sent you the property in your DMs.
Checking. Ooh. I'm going to let Mr. Mike give you some feedback. Mike, it's your turn.
Because they did take it in, so I thought maybe it was like decent enough, but obviously it didn't sell. So I'm thinking there's probably something I didn't see.
I always feel bad giving feedback. Mike, what do you think about this property? Regardless of price, knowing it's in Birmingham, Alabama, can you tell me a little bit about this property?
Gee whiz, bro, you're putting me on the hot seat here. It doesn't look very attractive. I guess that's my first impression.
Come on, who cares though? It's a rental. Chat, help me
2-1.
out.
There it is.
There
it is. 2-1. Boom.
2-1. What does that mean? What does 2-1 mean?
Not desirable by investors because of the rents.
Yes. So I always try to give a hierarchy of properties and hold my hand wholesale. And what is the hierarchy of properties that are largely available? Quadplex, duplex, single family. I mean, triplex too. Quadplex, triplex, duplex, single family. Quadplex, triplex, duplex, single family. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then what's below single family? Although it still is a single family, 2-bed, 1-bath single family, because rents and appreciation just, they go to the ground with 2-bed, 1-bath. That's why this thing is for sale at that price. And then what's below single family? Condo or townhouse. And then what's below condo or townhouse? Mobile home that owns the land. And then what is the very bottom? Mobile home that doesn't own the land. Literally useless. Literally a statue. There's nothing that we can do with a mobile home that doesn't own the land. And there's probably nothing we can do with a mobile home that does own the land, unless it's a park. We like mobile home parks, although I haven't closed one of those deals yet. So my feedback is probably threefold. First fold, it's a 2-1. And it's kind of an ugly 2-1, which ugly doesn't really matter. The tin roof is a little bit of a hard pill for some investors to swallow since it's the cheapest option. But, we could get past all of that stuff. 2 beds, 1 bath. I have never sold a rental property that is 2 beds, 1 bath in cash unless it's seller financing. So it's really hard to sell something like this in cash or with a loan. I use cash and loan interchangeably, but I should say with a loan. The second thing about this is the price point that it's offered at is really hard to obtain financing for. I mean, look at this. So what price do you have this for, I should say?
At 55, they were listed for like almost 80 initially. I don't know. They just started throwing and lowering the numbers as it was under contract. I don't know if that's normal or not.
That does happen from time to time. It's a bit unfortunate because investors see the price. But so other thing is that we're 10K below list, although they price dropped that. Very unfortunately, they price dropped it, which makes it hard for us to sell it to investors. So yeah, this is a bit of a pickle because of the 2-1, the 10K below list, and then also the rent on this property compared to the mortgage, and then the financing, I should say, as well. So check this out. Rent, and I know Section 8 rent is enticing to use, but we really do have to go off of just normal rent. This is your rent, right? Now, you have it at 55. Let's say we sell it for 60. 12K down, 8% interest. Now, here's one thing I do need to let you know. You may not be able to get a 60K loan. It is very hard to find a lender that will grant a 30-year mortgage on a 60K house. And for that reason, this is a perfect seller financing opportunity. So I'd call this person, I'd say, hey, I'd buy this, but lenders don't really lend on amounts this low. Did you know that? They literally won't give you a loan for this. Do you know that they wouldn't do that? It's very hard for them to grant a loan on this, largely because the interest barely makes them any money per month. They're only getting about $300 in interest payments per month for $60,000 lended out. For 30 years, they lend out 60 for $300 a month. It's not that great. So hard for me to get financing on it, but let's say you do get financing. Here's the other thing. Your taxes and insurance are probably $150 combined. Insurance is always probably about 70, and taxes here are probably about 70 as well. So probably around 140. But you pay 350. You've got about 140 in taxes and insurance. You're renting it for $800 a month, right? 800, take off 20% for expenses is 640. Then subtract your 490 payment. This rental property only makes $150 a month. Per year, it makes $1,800. If one mechanical goes bad in your house, you lose your profit for the entire year. So issues with this deal. It's really hard to get a loan for 60K. Very few lenders do it. Some do, very few do. Second,
most of the cash deals, everyone's just buying it outright for like under 60.
People do buy. You know, I don't actually have any buyers who do that. People do it, but I don't know who the hell does it. Because here's the thing. If you spend 60K on one property, that could buy you 2.5, 3 properties, right, with a loan. And it could make you way more money. So investment rule number 1 for just pretty much all investing is use other people's money. Leverage other people's money to make a higher return for yourself. So buying in cash is a really slow way to grow, a very low return on an investment way to grow. And also you're just leaving a lot of money on the table, but some people do it. I don't have any buyers to do it. None of my buyers pay cash. All of my buyers use loans. So
basically any like rentable cash deal, you would have to be like dirt cheap essentially.
Yeah. I don't know why somebody would buy a house in cash. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. I don't know why anybody would do it, but it does happen. So I don't want to tell you it doesn't happen. There are high income W-2 people who make very interesting decisions. So the reason this doesn't sell is 2-bed, 1-bath. Very hard to get somebody interested in a 2-bed, 1-bath. Kind of an ugly 2-1, which is also a bit of a factor. Second factor, it makes $150 or $1,800 per year. Third factor, hard to get financing for that price. Really hard to get financing for that price, and we're only 10K below list as well. So I would say that this is a deal that I would get on creative terms. My offer would be $75,000. I'd put down 10 reluctantly. 10K would be a down payment for me. Reluctantly, I'd prefer 7 because it's kind of ugly. And then I'd probably make payments of maybe $250 a month, given the rent. I got to take this call. This is Joseph. He's probably calling with some news. Hello, sir.
Hey, buddy. So we're going to get the Maryland locked up. We got to schedule an inspection. And then obviously we'll have to schedule an appraisal. 2 things that Mohammed is concerned about with the property. He believes the subflooring is in lack of better terms, what he said was shit. And he says that's going to become an issue in the next 6 months.
Let's get it inspected. Let's find it inspected.
An inspector will tell us everything. Exactly.
Okay. So yes. And if there's stuff that we need to fix, I got that. No worries.
I know. I got nothing but trust and faith in you, big dog. I'm not worried about that whatsoever.
Yeah. We'll get it inspected because Chris, my contractor, said, yeah, he was telling me something about the floors feeling weak, but I don't know what the hell he's talking about. And I was in Detroit about a week ago and I walked that property. The things that I didn't like about it were the walls weren't smooth drywall. They were this older bubbly drywall. But that was the only thing I noticed in there that I didn't love.
And it used to be a 2-bedroom. I don't know if you do that or not.
Yeah, we switched it. We carved out closets and windows, and we did everything to make it a legal 3-1 on each side.
Got it. Okay.
Same thing with Tacoma. Tacoma was also a 2-bed, 1-bath on either side. We had to carve out closets and windows for that to make that a 2-1.
Yep. No issue there. So there's that, and then obviously he was, he's still saying, listen, I'm your guy before I'm Richard's guy. He goes, I like Richard. I have nothing negative to say here, so I'm just telling it to you straight. But he was like, this really should be in the 137 to 141 range because of the square footage. That was his biggest argument. He goes, the deals that Richard's sending you comparison wise have a lot more square feet. He goes, other than that, he goes, the benefits that's coming from Richard, he's going to make sure everything is good to go because obviously there's a lot of value there in that. So no argument there. But those are the things that he was saying. So I would say let's lock it up. Let's get it inspected. Let's see what the inspection report comes back and says, and then move forward. I got 3 different buyers that we can push on.
Let's do it. Now, I sent you a number of comps for that property, multifamily.
Yep. I sent all those to him. I sent all those over to him.
Anywhere
That was
from
what he said after I sent all those over to him.
160 to 190 on those.
His statement was that they were all larger properties, more square footage.
I think so. What do we have? 1900 in Maryland?
Yeah, 1900 of those properties were. I have to look back to the text, but he said all those properties were significantly larger.
So
square footage.
Normandy was 2650, so it has 600. It has 650 square feet more. But let's take the price per square foot so that we know what it would sell for. It was $70 per square foot. So 15,820. I just want to make sure I'm pricing this right for y'all. So it's got 1946. So 1946 multiplied by $70. Yeah, we're probably anywhere from 140 to 150 if we use that price per square foot on that. So see, I could see where he's coming from with that.
It's all valid, and at the end of the day, dog. I mean, I'm gonna do business with you regardless. So, but you know the way that I look at it, I have no problem overpaying the deal if there's guaranteed the property's not going to need more repair. But if we get seller credit on the closing, that makes a big difference. So do not have to say anything right now. Let's first start with the baby steps. Let's get this motherfucker inspected. Let's make sure that there's no issues. I think we might have to get the basements or the sewer scoped, because what we're finding is a lot of the properties that we are buying are having massive issues with the piping and the drain.
Sure.
So we might do that, but that's where we sit at. So I'll get with the inspector to kind of get that process going. And then of course, water heater, furnace, and all that will be installed after the property is purchased.
We just don't want them to be stolen, and we can coordinate with you guys. So that you make sure that they're protected.
Or Josh, bro, on the Tacoma Street deal. Oh my God. I think I told you it was professionals that took the furnaces and the water heaters out of there.
I can't
literally the day before the renters moved into the place, they professionally went in there, cut off all the power and the water, and then stole the units. And then also put the door handle back on after they pulled everything off.
Terrible.
To the side, So anyways, this is what it is anyway. But great. We'll move forward.
And so what I did while we were on the phone just now is I sent you 4 that are for sale in the same area. I think they're all the same zip code. Washburn for 180, Wisconsin Street 170, Indiana Street 180, and then Ohio Street, a smaller unrenovated duplex 145. So I think that if you were to buy something like this, you're probably looking at like 160 to 180,000. So yeah, if your guy just wants to see comps, there's a couple in there.
It's okay. It's not an issue whatsoever. I'm probably going to set this up with one of our clients that is brand new, so that way they get a turnkey deal.
Cool.
That doesn't need more money. It'd be a lot easier, but I know we just have to make sure the price and everything makes sense. So
yes.
I'm not worried about it whatsoever.
All right. Well, okay, we'll go under contract, and do tell me whatever you need me to do, and I will make sure to make the repairs if need be.
When is it available to have it inspected? When would you say is best for that? Will the water be on?
I actually think we got it on. I actually think we did.
Yeah, because that needs to be
checking.
Taken care of, obviously.
Good afternoon, boss. The water service to the property on Sanford has already been activated. Mike informed me that you set up. Maybe is Merland on? They were asking us for a signed warranty deed, and we sent that over to them. And there's just so much stupid bureaucracy, but we can put in the contract. I'll tell my TC we're not to close it until water being. We should get the closing process started, because this takes a month to close, and it will be on prior to that.
Good. And then is the electrical on as well?
Yes. So that's all on.
Beautiful. All right, great. Well, fucking let's rip. Let's make it happen.
Okay. All right. Talk soon. I'm gonna get this thing not assigned, but sent to you guys, because it's mine this time. But yeah, we'll talk soon.
Either man. Talk
Bye.
Soon. Bye.
Great. So that's my personal flip. I bought that. Guys, this is crazy. This is the fastest turnaround for a fix and flip you've ever seen. I bought this thing on April 30th. Less than a month later, under contract, end buyer, 42K profit. Isn't that sick? Isn't that sick, guys? He's already walked the property, so he knows that it's loosely good. There's a couple things that he wants to check out inspection-wise, as he should, and I'll make those necessary repairs. if there are any, which I'm sure there's like 3 or 4K. I bet there's 3 or 4K, but I went under contract for that property to buy it less than a month ago, and we're already going under contract again for $42,000 profit. It's cracked. It's insane. And I've got another one coming to market in about a week and a half, and we'll make another 45 on that too. So 90,000 coming my way. And you know what's insane? You know what y'all are going to see on stream tomorrow? I'm going to buy another one. A notary is coming to my house tomorrow, and I'm going to buy another one. The only thing is, I have a flight to California tomorrow. I might go live earlier than I normally do just to show you all the process. So I'm going to be buying another one tomorrow. This is a single family. It's the second or third single family I've ever flipped. And hopefully I can get that on camera. But yeah, guys, that's super sick. That's super sick. That's everything that we're hoping for. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna connect. I'm gonna connect Joseph with my TC, Lexi, and Clarissa. Lexi and Clarissa work for a company called Gold Key TC, and Gold Key TC closes all of my deals. So if you guys are looking to get a deal closed and you don't want to pay me a fee because you found your own buyer, send it to Gold Key TC. And that's not a profit split scenario as if we found your buyer. That's just a use the closing team that I use, right? What's the decor behind me? This is a 10 by 12 foot moss wall. It's real moss, and it is one of my favorite things ever. I saw it in a store, and it wasn't this. This is not what I saw in a store. It was a tiny little section of it. It was probably a 2 by 2 foot section, and I was like, could you make this 10 by 12 feet? And they said, yes. And you know how much they charged me for that? Guess how much this was? Technically, it's a piece of art. It all comes apart. It's 4 different segments. I have a video of them putting it together. It is, and I've got this beautiful skylight above it too. I don't know if the skylight is visible. But I bought this thing with creative finance, and not the wall. I bought the wall in cash. I bought this house with creative finance, kind of wrapping the house. And I paid $950, 65 down, 4% interest, and I paid 10 racks for that. That was 10,000. But yeah, that's got to be my favorite art piece that I have. We have a lot of art in this house. There's a couple of cool ones. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let everybody know. Hey, Lexi, I have a house on 15820 Merland that Joseph's buyer is wanting to buy. Can you get them a contract at 152,000, please? Okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much my stream for today. And we're going to talk to a couple more people here. Just meowing. We already told you your situation, right?
Yeah, I had a couple quick questions.
We'll keep you up.
So I seen you're at the interest, you're running at 8%. And
yeah.
Do you trust Zillow's rent estimate over, because I was using Rentcast? I don't know if that's...
Wait, what do you mean by rent versus interest?
No. When you were running your numbers, you were using interest at 8%, and I was going at 7.3. I don't.
Right.
So are we using 8% now?
Interest rates are market at about 6.2, 6.3 right now, and you could even get a 5.9 if you put down a big enough down payment on a residential purchase. So if you bought a house like this, could be at 5.9% interest today if you put down a big down payment. However, Investment loans are usually higher interest at 7%, and then cheap investment loans are all the way up to 8.5% interest. So I would say you're looking at 775 to 825 on a 60K purchase.
Okay. And the Zillow's insurance and property tax, don't trust those pretty much. Because it said like 50 there, and I put it up to 100.
It's
and then I seen you go 150.
Wrong. Sometimes it's right. Like for example, I would say that I'd say it's like right in Cleveland and right in Detroit, but it's not right other places. Like when it tells you that insurance is $40, it's higher than that. But it's usually pretty close. It's usually pretty close.
And you trust I was using Rentcast for my rent estimates. You trust Zillow's one?
I like Rentcast more, but Rentcast is less known than Zillow Rent Estimator. So I use Zillow Rent Estimator because it's likely the first place our buyers are going to look, and I want to make sure that we're like aligned.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. That's pretty much it. Answers all my questions.
All right, dog.
Appreciate you.
Talk soon.
Here.
Mike, what's going on, dog? I can't believe you spend 3 hours a day on here with me. That's crazy.
Bro, I'm always excited to learn. But the seller got back to me. If you want to walk 2 properties, he says Monday is better. 5 triplex and then 6-9. You can just confirm that.
You cut out just a tad, but you say Monday at what time for the single family?
11:45. It'll be the triplex first, and same day it'll be.
Okay, 11:45 for. So available times to walk 2 Akron properties that you're interested in. 11:45 for triplex.
And then right after that,
Right after that, what?
it'll be the single family 269.
At 11:45.
Right after they're done with the triplex, they can walk over. Seller said.
You can walk single family right after. And then
The only detail I see here, Rich, do following day for family. The other one.
I'm catching every other word. It's like in and out, in and out.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. The EMD will be due the following day after that walk. So the walk is on Tuesday and then the following Wednesday. So it's kind of close.
Did you say walk is on Tuesday? I thought that was 11:45 a.m. Monday.
No, yeah, walk on Monday. But I'm saying EMD Wednesday and triplex Wednesday.
Okay.
Like they're back to.
It is cutting out a lot, but I think you just said EMD is due on Wednesday for both of them.
Can you hear me, bro?
I can, but it's like.
Hold on. Maybe it's my girls. So after they walk on Monday, right? EMD would be due Tuesday
for the triplex,
and then Wednesday.
Okay.
Tuesday is the single family, and then Wednesday is the triplex. They're kind of back to back.
EM due Tuesday for single family, and Wednesday for the triplex. Okay, I'm typing urgent with a caution sign. Urgent, available times to walk 2 Akron properties. You're interested in 11:45. And then just because I feel like they might lose things and are disorganized, can I get those? So the address on that, I just want to make sure. 269 and 274.
Yes, sir.
Which one is the triplex?
274.
What do we send the single family for? 114?
Correct.
114. And then triplex got you here. 274 is the triplex. And then that's occupied at 2,900 rent. Price is 135, right?
No, brother. I think
160.
Okay, it was 145, and you were selling it for so 160, I believe.
160. Okay, 160. Perfect. Glad I didn't send that. And then, yeah, 11:45 for the triplex Monday, and then you can walk the single family right after. EMD is due Tuesday for the single family, and it's due Wednesday for the triplex. And we have 21. Okay, sent. Okay. And then point of contact. Point of contact to walk is, and then would you mind texting me that one more time, that guy?
Yeah, brother, I'll bump it for sure.
Maybe I can find it in my text messages with Joseph. Maybe.
Here, I'll bump it. It's
Frederick?
Yeah, you got it.
Got it. Never mind. Okay. Okay, they have it. They have I resent everything. It says urgent, and it has the times, the addresses, the rent, and the point of contact. And I said super rare opportunity, not much time left. So I hope they do their shit, dude. I really do, because this is a great deal.
Yes, sir.
It might be one that I submit EMD on, again, just to prevent it from going away, because it's just great. It's just excellent.
I really appreciate it, brother. Well, you have a safe travel tomorrow.
Absolutely. Talk soon. Bye-bye. Yusuf, you got to go to bed, man.
Yeah, I slept by mistake, actually.
Go to bed. Go to bed.
Yeah, I just wanted to let you know that I just talked to the realtor of the one that has 1,400 rent, and we got it for 60K. He told me that we can inspect the property on Tuesday or Monday at 2 p.m.
Is this Gilcrest? Glenfield, I mean?
No, it's Glenfield.
Yeah, Glenfield property. We can walk at, I'm sorry, you say 2 p.m. on what day?
Monday.
2 p.m.
Or Tuesday, whatever they prefer.
We can walk 2 p.m. Monday or Tuesday. Point of contact is, and then is it just the realtor's phone number on the listing?
Oh, wait. I will send it to you right now.
Guy Gillard? Guy
Yeah.
Gallardo?
I just sent it.
Maybe it's
I just sent it to you.
Maybe his name is Guyard. Guy Guyard.
I don't know. I guess Guy. His name is just Guy. I don't know.
Like Gallardo. Signed and under contract, right?
Yep. I sent you the lease via email because it's 25 megabytes for some reason. I don't know why. And I sent the deal to Mira too.
Okay, both of them have that now. Yeah.
Awesome.
Caleb says you're annoying as fuck to watch. Well, the crazy thing is you could scroll. It's the craziest concept, but thank you for watching. Okay. All right. So I'm all tapped, guys. I think you might have a stream after this. I think it's like foot massage and dinner time. So I'm gonna do a wheel spin though. All right. $20 cash. It landed on $20 cash. That's what we have. $20 cash today. So I'm gonna spin this. I spun the wheel. Our winner is getting $20 cash. I have a good question. How many people are in the USA? For $20, how many people live in the United States? For $20. These are going to be some fun answers to read. What's the wheel? I do giveaways to try to get people to show up to my class. All right. It's going to be whoever's closest. Whoever's closest. Oh, Kira's going to go live. So guys, if you're mad at me for not answering your question, Kira will answer your question. Okay, so as of now, approximately 342 to 349 million people live here. Approximately 342 to 349. So 11 million. That is right. Yes, 11 million. 10 million. Oh, Yusuf. Oh, Yusuf. We're bigger than that. 7 billion. That's right. 350 million. That's a pretty good guess. Guys, you'll have to help me out. Help me flag who you think got it right. Currently, Tyler E is in the lead. 400 million, 350. Tyler is closest and first. So he said it first, and I think he's closest. Approximately 350. Did anybody say? I don't think I could give it to anybody other than Tyler. Because yeah, I think it's got to be Tyler because he said it first and he was closest. Right? It's got to be Tyler. All right, Tyler, that's $20, dog. That's $20. How do we pay you, Tyler? What do you have, like Venmo? Do you take Apple Pay? Tyler, how do we get you $20 cash?
Check. Can you guys hear me?
Check. I can hear you.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, probably Venmo or Cash App, whatever. I can send that info over to you.
Yeah, you want to go ahead and send me your Cash App?
Sure. It's been like a minute, so yeah. Let's see if I can do that real quick.
Oh, have we paid you before?
No, never. This is like my second or my third live. So I'm just
now
like,
it's free.
Yeah, now it's 3.
Now it's free.
Oh yeah. I'm having some trouble with my Cash App. I need to figure that out. I'll get back to you on that if that's okay.
I have Venmo.
I don't have Venmo yet.
Oh,
I know. I'm like behind on setting up all that stuff. It's been a minute, so yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to just remove 1 month payment on Discord for you?
Honestly, whatever is easier. I'm just kind of like surprised I can't get into my Cash App. It seemed like my PIN is incorrect.
Do you do Apple Pay?
Oh, Apple Pay. Yeah. We could do Apple Pay. That's
Text me your cell.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah, guys, the giveaways are for Discord members only. If you want to join, so guys, you see where I was selling everybody's deals in real time? Like just selling people's deals, then doing demonstrations, calling realtors if I can. That's all part of Hold My Hand Wholesale, and you can join Hold My Hand Wholesale simply by clicking the link in my bio. It is $19.99 for you to learn. All right, Tyler dropped his phone number right there. Is 8% cash on cash return good? Well, it could be good if it's $1 million building. This says it's an Android. Do you have an Android? The number's green. I can't Apple Pay a green number. Tyler, you're muted right now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my bad. It's also like my first time on Discord, so I'm like a little bit slow into like learning. But yeah, so basically it is an Android. So yeah, but I do have Apple Pay on my other phone, which is iPhone. I wasn't expecting to like anything. So yeah, I gotta obviously figure that out, and then y'all less messy on the chat.
I'm gonna put you in a chat with Chris, and he's gonna remove 1 month payment of Discord for you.
Okay, that works. Awesome. Thank you.
We'll say, hey Chris, this guy won 1 month free. His username is Okay. I just put you in a chat with Chris, and Chris should make that happen for you. Let me know if he doesn't respond, and I'll make it happen myself. But yeah, guys, Kira's going to continue to take questions here. This guy says 56 unit Macon, Georgia seller financing. Tell me your terms, but I'm going to head out. Kira's going to continue questions. So if there's anything that you feel wasn't answered on time, or you really need to show somebody your deal and get some help with that deal, Kira can help you with your deal. So stick around, because she's closing deals. Anyways, bye-bye, guys. I'll see you in a bit. See ya, YouTube. If you want to join Hold My Hand Wholesale, we have 110 of you watching. Just click the link in my bio, and the link in my bio will lead you to Hold My Hand Wholesale. See ya. LARPer.